Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This has probably been one of the most requested streams that every iteration of the World Cup has gotten ever since its inception in, I believe, 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Project Hexagon commentary booth. This is 6WC, and we are here at our very beloved culture of the prediction stream, where our opinions mean more than yours, and you're gonna hear us yet and be completely incorrect, and we're gonna get speech bubbled at the very end of the stream. My name is Gabby Crayola, and joining me in the commentary booth are my lovely cast of commentators. This year we have two fresh new faces, being Lenexia and Mr. Throne, but I think I'll let our commentators speak for themselves. Philoxen, would you like to kickstart with the introductions? How are you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited about this prediction stream. It's a pleasure being here, and not for another year, because in 2024 we did the same thing. It went pretty well, so this year we will try to do the same thing. Okay, I guess we're not trying to do the same thing. We will fail miserably, but anyways, I will try to do my best and make as many speech bubbles as you want. But I think with that, we can introduce the other commentators.
Well, hello. I'm Frunin. I am not the captain of Team Israel. I'm just a player.
What?
I'm just a player. But yeah, I have a lot of experience in the 6WC scene. Been there since almost like 4 years now. And yeah, ready to roast some teams.
Yeah, much like Fronen, I've been around for a long time. I'm Lenexia. You might know me. I'm really excited to be here. I was messaged yesterday, told, hey, show up. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, but still, I'm really excited. I've never done a prediction stream before, but I've always wanted to do one. So here I am. And I hope this is going to be good fun.
Sweet. Hi, I'm Mr. Throne. I haven't really been around as much as the other people here, but I mean, I've been around the block. I was in 6WC2025 last year, and I'm very thankful for Gamilli to have me on today. And as the U.S. One of the U.S. tryout coordinators, I'm ready to kick things off. Get going.
Yep, and to end things off, of course, you guys know me. I am your 6WC host, played in 6WC 23 and 24, captain of Team Singapore in 2024, the second place roster. Mr. Throne, you need to glaze yourself. You gotta tell them that you're podium third place, bro. What are we doing? But anyways, jokes aside, thank you to all of, before I begin, thank you to everybody who's joining in the stream right now. Thank you for watching. This is a huge project, and I'm very hyped and excited to do this. And of course, thank you to all of the commentators in the booth with me. I think we have a lot of multifaceted faces or voices joining us today. And yeah, I would like to preface this stream most importantly to tell you guys, this year perhaps is the most difficult year to do a prediction stream because of the amount of reworks that have happened to the PP system. So we are going into this fully under the assumption that it's going to be difficult. We're not going to be 100% accurate, and our knowledge of the scene, despite being very active players, be it being as hosts, being as players, being as staff members, our knowledge on the scene is definitely not conclusive because a lot of these players haven't gotten the chance to shine in a tournament setting. So I'm going to preface it and say it right now. There is a good chance that we are completely off the mark with this stream, and we are very sorry. But we'll try our best. So I think the rest of my commentators can also attest to that. We'll definitely try our best to give you as accurate of a prediction as we can. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's not dilly-dally any further. That's a long introduction, about 5 minutes long at this point. So I don't think I want to keep any of you guys waiting. We're gonna kickstart the prediction stream as always. With Australia, just to remind everybody, we will be doing everything in regions. So we're gonna kickstart the prediction stream with the APAC region. Then you'll go to EMA, or Europe, South America, Africa, and the Middle East, and then we'll end it off with America, just to help our brothers from different time zones, brothers and sisters from different time zones. But yeah, let's kickstart this prediction stream off with the letter A. That's right, Australia is going to be the first country on the chopping block. All right, does anybody want to take it from me? Because this Australian roster is pretty interesting, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I think I can, yeah, kickstart the Australian roster. The thing is, well, without a doubt, last year's Australian roster was definitely one of my favorite teams in 6WC, and I believe it was really enjoyable to watch them just beat out so many strong teams. But for this year, things might also get really interesting because if you look at the lineup, you will realize that there is not so many familiar faces. Of course, you have Flortel, a very, very experienced tournament player, but I would focus my speech personally on Ichinami because this guy is a dark horse of Australia, and I don't think many people know how good they are. For example, there was that Hanami Right tournament, and Ichinami had a team that went to finals, almost beating the team with Tian Ling and Sisyphus and Paradigm and all of those D rankers, and still put up a great fight against them. So to me, they are of course qualifying, and I think I will put them at around top 24. But if anything, if anyone has anything else to add, then I'm listening.
I had the exact same opinion as the placement. I would like to showcase some players that they do have. I think Australia, what they have a lot of experience even from places you wouldn't expect. For example, your boy Grubbs is a name I remember from my first tournaments, as well as Sorax Bay. They're both returning players, so I think there's still some experience there. There are people in this team that have played enough tournaments, but I think when it comes to, I would say firstly qualifying and especially on the later rounds, experience means a lot. Even if let's say the skill itself isn't as big as the big teams, I think that being able to sort of know what the skill sets to be and have experience in those skill sets is very important. And so I do see Australia come top 24 as well.
Let's go.
Yeah, me personally, I don't think I have anything to add, anything else special to add. I think, Funa, you mentioned your boy Grubbs, right? I believe this is the first year that your boy Grubbs hasn't captained an Australian roster that he's been in. I believe he's been in the scene, correct me if I'm wrong, was it 2022? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was in the scene in 2022, captain of Australia for 2 years, took a break in 2023, and now is back in 2024. So, for what it's worth, yeah, I definitely think that experience-wise, Australia definitely still has some talent. But given, Australia is like dark horse team. It's always a dark horse team when it comes to Australia. You can never be too sure. But for now, I think I'm going to go with a safe bet of top 24. I mean, the next year of Throne, do you guys have anything else that, any thoughts on Australia?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that I totally agree with the prediction of 24. I think they are a solid roster, and they are definitely carried by Ishinami here. He's gonna do the heavy lifting. Everyone else is gonna do all right, but I do think that a lot of other teams are ending up having an edge over them, just simply because they do have a little bit more carry potential on more players than just one. Everyone else is decent again, but Ichinami is just the only standout that you can really see this time around. They definitely took a big step back from last year, where you have a lot of star players in this roster. So I think they are definitely going to place a little lower than they did last year.
Okay, I would like to mention that Clordal, in a private tournament that I was staffing, did have some standout performances. It was a 1v1 tournament. So I definitely know that Clordal can definitely fill in like the more gimmicky picks and like non-mechanics based picks. And also, fun fact, Kobus Kabi is a Mouse X player, which is interesting. And I do agree with the prediction that Australia will be around top 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty unanimous decision from the commentary booth. Then again, like you look at their six APAC performance, and it's also not the most stunning performance. So the hope really is there for Australia to push above and beyond. I'm personally a big Australia fan, so would love to see them do well. But I think right now they're gonna end up at top 24. And with that, let's move on to our next country. It's
What the?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh no.
okay.
Oh
okay.
no, they revealed the commentary
Pause
booth.
chat.
Oh no.
Pause chat.
What happened?
Pause,
Are we back?
Pause,
Wait,
pause,
All right.
pause.
All right, we're back.
All right,
Yeah,
we're
with the
not.
oh shit, why is the stream blowing up? With that, let's
I don't
move on to
know.
our next country.
I
So
don't know what
sorry
happened
for
there.
the-
So,
Yeah,
anyways,
so sorry
Welcome
for
back,
the
Gimmy.
lag. But yeah, let's switch over real quick. Hopefully we can get the stream stuff sorted out. But let's
it's
move
done.
along to Team China. Team China is definitely an interesting team to say the least. I think one thing to notice about Team China is that, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they have Ikmi on their roster. That's pretty interesting though, Blockton.
Wait, that's right. Now, as you
Yeah.
reminded me of that, the thing is, China put probably their best player that they had in the fucking minor league as a B team captain, which is Aikmi. This guy was a carrier of Team China for, well, 6 APC, but unfortunately, we are not going to be seeing him. And everyone else in the current major roster is just new people. And honestly, as much as I wanted to, like, analyze them, I just couldn't. I know Mike is a very experienced tourney player, but that's about it. Like, none of them, as far as I remember, participated in our festival events. And unfortunately, I just don't know much about the Asian scene because I was occupied with other tournaments. So
Yeah.
for me, I think this is gonna be it. And if anyone has anything else to say, then that would be nice.
I mean, Funan, what do you have?
I
Dude?
think China is just hard because the thing about China is this happens every single year with China. Every single year they come in with those new gens. It's just something that always happens with this country, as well as countries like Vietnam. It's very tough to say in terms of like experience and what they have. I will say though that China does have a scene in terms of inner tournaments.
True.
So in terms of experience, they could have experience. They could be doing it, but to be honest, I don't know. Completely honest, I don't know exactly of their experience. I will say that some of them do have some tournament experience. Is it enough to go the distance? I do not know. For me, I do see China qualify. That's for sure. I don't know enough to say how far along they get.
Yeah, China's a really difficult one to evaluate. China's always going to be having a very different roster. They have so many players and they have a lot of internal tournaments with just Chinese players. So they mostly stick to themselves rather than playing internationally. So you don't ever know the players really, even though they might have a lot of tournament experience, but it's really just within their own country, right? So I had a lot of trouble placing them. I do see them qualifying. China has been notorious for being decent in pretty much every competition that they do take part in. So I also see them doing at least decent here. So I would place them around top 16, top 24 off of my gut. I don't see them being higher than that, but that's simply because I know the other teams better than this. So I'm probably just biased, if I'll be real.
So I guess,
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I guess looking at this, I was a bit higher than everybody else on the panel here. I was thinking China would be top 8 somewhere. Although I don't exactly know. Again, like the rest of you, I don't exactly know where China's gonna place just because of the fact they do a bunch of in-house tournaments. But with that being said, they could very well go higher. They could very well go lower as well with like any of the other top 16, top 4 teams, top 24 teams. Maybe like there's just so much information that we do not know about all these teams that it's very up in the air.
Okay. Well, me personally, unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of having SSD, who's like the sort of East Asia specialist this year. But from what I understand, China has a in-house circuit. Not just China, I'm pretty sure it's all Chinese-speaking countries, so Taiwan, Hong Kong included, and Macau. They have like the OCNT series, which is a very, very prominent series in the East Asian scene. And I think there are quite a lot of players from this roster that have participated in them. And not to mention, right, in 6 APC, of course, they did have Ikmi on that roster, but it's also important to look at their other players, such as, Shen XY, I think is one to look out for. Creep is one to look out for. And Mike 2333 is the player that Philoxon mentioned before. I think these players definitely are standouts to me. And not to mention just looking through some of these players, like, I was looking at Awathon, I was looking at Shuaye. I definitely know that these players do not lack tourney experience. And from a, just very surface level top play analysis, it looks like they might be able to put out a pretty good performance, if I do say so myself. Which is why I'm actually more inclined to put them above Australia in the rankings. I think, Throne, you mentioned top 8, right? But I think, I think most of us have been sort of hovering around the top 24, top 32 range. I'm actually more inclined to say that China might be a top 16 team just by nature of the fact that I think that they're stronger than Australia from what we do know about them. And we don't know a lot about China in the first place, and they always exceed expectations. So given by the trend, I think it's pretty safe to put it in top 16 personally. But if anybody has any like sharp objections, throw it out right now.
No, so I do think that due to the nature of China and how they play the tournament scene, they always have this potential to be the dark horse. Every single year, they could just have an explosive roster that nobody has ever heard of. So I do think it's only fair to place them at least top 16.
Okay. I think let's put it in the top 16. We always have time to rearrange stuff later on. So yeah, with that, let's move along to our next country. It is going to be their close neighbor, Hong Kong. Ooh, okay. Hong Kong. Last year, Hong Kong was pretty strong. You know, you had players like Mok Schumann, you had Kuranami, crazy player, you had Ayaka as well. This year, they only have one returning player in Kitio, with the rest of their players, with the exception of ILY0 and Hints XD, if I'm not mistaken, all being newcomers to the scene. I think we saw Hong Kong in APC play Seed 15, but they didn't quite get too far, so I'm personally not feeling too hot for Hong Kong this year. This is a top 32 team for me. I mean, it's not a complete roster as well. So, yeah, top 32 for me. Philoxen, what do you have to say?
Yeah, man. No, what I noticed is is a really sad tendency. Like in 6WC 2023, Hong Kong had probably the strongest roster with TSE 6969, a really strong captain of the previous era. In 2024, they of course had Kuronami, Ayaka, and all the other guys who were super tournament experienced. And now, oh man, I don't know. It's just 6 players, and doesn't even seem like people were interested in playing those. Though, at least Kitio is here back for 6WC 2025, so I guess we could put them in top 32. So this is gonna be my guess.
I'm perhaps maybe a bit less optimistic. I don't know. I think in general it is hard to qualify as a team that has less players, but also looking individually on these players, I think it may be close, but I just don't think they have the power of fire to just sort of go beyond the qualifiers, because you have a lot of teams playing qualifiers. You have 51, I believe it is. So I think it's gonna be tough coming within the top 32 with less players and not enough carry potential. So I don't see them qualifying.
Yeah, I don't really know any of the players, but just as Ronan said, having less players than 8 is very suboptimal. Kuronami actually got banned, by the way, a few weeks ago, which is really funny.
Wait, what? Yo, they finally got him! They finally got him!
No way, bro.
That's my god.
Who would have guessed that he was not alright? Anyway, yeah, I do not see them qualifying, actually. I do think they have a good shot at minor league. I see them qualifying in minor league, but for Major League, I don't think it's gonna be enough. They just don't really have any prominent players, right? So, yeah, it's gonna be the DNQ for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a really tough time on either putting them in do not qualify or top 32, but ultimately I landed on top 32 just because they do consistently in past 6WCs have qualified. But how far they get with that 6-man roster is anyone's guess. My guess is not that far, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the general consensus here is gonna be a DNQ for Hong Kong. So yeah, it's a shame to see, but I think we are gonna see our first DNQ in Hong Kong. It's just by nature of having a narrow roster, right? You have so many more weaknesses that you can't account for. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's move on to pardon me. Let's move on to our next country, and this one is a interesting one, if I do say so myself. It's gonna be India. Now, India, really
Ooh.
one of those rosters that are very, very unique. I think they have some strength, you know. They have some returning players. You have Cherf, who I believe was from the six APC roster for India. You also have Itzray, I believe, in Noxium. Itzray, close friend of the Singaporean B team last year in 2024 as well. So yeah, I do know him, and he is a pretty strong player in his own right. But you know, looking through the rest of these players, some standout players. I like to point out, you know, players like Lomain and Proto. I believe in my notes as well. Some very high PP plays from both of them. I know PP doesn't mean quite that much in the post CSR world, but that's it. That is definitely, you know, some sort of firepower. So, I mean, personally, do I see this going further than China? Not really, but I do definitely think that they don't go lower than China. So I'm putting them in top 16. Philoxen, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, that's interesting because I kind of disagree here.
Okay.
Like even though I'm pretty sure I noticed some of the Indian players in our festival events like Sherf or Lemaine, but man, I honestly don't know because um just looking in 6WC 2024 performance results, which is group stage, and they had a stronger roster for that year. I'm not gonna say they do not qualify. Like in my book, they're definitely stronger than
Okay.
Hong Kong because they at least had more signups, and therefore, statistically speaking, you will have a stronger lineup and stronger roster. But I think Australia has more chances of even like outperforming India just because of the carry potential that they have. Because Australia, of course, they have like the most experienced ones. They have Clorsal and they have the new powerhouse, which is Ichinosa. And I think individually, at least, like on maybe high SR, well, I think Australia will be able to kind of beat India here. So I'm gonna go with top 24.
I think my thought process is pretty similar when I'm looking at a team's strength and thinking how long and how far they can get. I'm looking at the players. I'm looking at who will be their core players, who will be those players who can be those who consistently carry the team, as well as how many there are supporting players there are and their skill and ability. And I don't see it. I don't see them coming further than Australia in that department. I see them either very similar or even less than Australia. So I can't really place them
Okay.
above Australia. So for me, it's either top 24 or top 32. I'm gonna say top 32 because I've not seen enough. I've not seen enough from India, from the Indian players, and how they are able to perform in the tournament. They might surprise me, but for now, I'm gonna put them in top 32.
Okay.
Yeah, in India is a really tough nut. I know that a lot of Indian players are pretty good. They are not the star players that you see from other countries, though. They can do well. They're not gonna do exceptionally, though. So I would place them pretty much in the middle. I'd never see them not qualifying. I do see them qualifying. I do see them maybe winning one round in losers bracket. I don't think they win the first round. Probably the second, and then that's probably it. So around top 24 is where I would place them. Yeah, they just don't have the star players they would need to go further, but they don't have a roster weak enough to actually just not qualify at all.
Yeah. So Philoxen basically took the words out of my mouth. I don't
Oh,
see how
my bad.
India can go further. I don't see how India can get further than Australia in this tournament. But I mean, upsets can always happen, just like Australia last year. So I mean, we'll see what happens with India. But top 24 is where I will be placing India in my prediction.
Yeah, I think, I mean, top 24, I guess, is a pretty good middle ground. So I think we can just throw India at top 24 for now, then move and then shift some stuff around later. Let's move very quickly along to our next country.
Let's
And
go.
this is our first big hitter. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Team Indonesia. This is a powerhouse, if I do say so myself. I have things to say about this roster, but I think the others have equally as much. So Philoxon, just take it from me right now.
Right, we finally got to the stronger teams, and this one, in my opinion, has a crazy potential because, well, just individually, not even speaking about the newcomers, you have the super experienced players. Starting off, well, of course, we have Variel as super strong accuracy player, and man, this guy beat Satori the Pawn, like a Russian
Yep.
team captain who is like extremely strong in one of our festival events, and also participated in the Epic Theater. I hope that they will get their PC fixed in time, because that's going to be a really huge downgrade if they don't, because this was the reason why they couldn't participate in the Epic Theater. But yeah, beside that, you have Imar Gaiden, who recently got top 2 in Kisaragi Cup, like probably like one of the biggest 1v1 6-digit tournaments in history. Only losing to Philoxenia, beaten Idex, beaten Philomaster, beaten all the other D-rankers. So those two are already super strong as a core lineup. But to top it all off, you of course have Zerilia, who I believe is just, yeah, who
That's
is
my goat.
yeah, man,
That's my
objectively
goat.
the strongest 6 digits so far. Beat Ziggs, beat everyone else, beat Philoxenia, beat Zavi. Like
Playoffs winner.
what can you do? Well, yeah, man, what can you do about it? Our Epic Theater winner, and by far those 3, even if they don't have a 4th player to fill for everything, I think this is gonna be my at least top 8 potential. But I think when it comes to high SR, those 3 will not get skill capped, and they might even get a chance of getting in the top 4. So this is what I'm thinking. I think it's top 4. Frunen, what do you think?
I definitely agree. I mean, when you look at Indonesia's roster, that you definitely see a winning roster. You see they have the experience, they definitely have the skills. I would say they have some of the highest skilled players in the tournament. So I don't think that's a worry. But I would say also about the supporting players, you have some very, very good supporting players that are able to sort of assist in the less popular skill set. So I don't see a world where this team doesn't get top 4 for me. I think they definitely have the talent, they have the potential, they have everything to make it to top 4. So for me, I'm gonna put them in top 4.
Yeah, and I actually disagree. I do think there are exactly 4 teams which beat them. We will get to those 4. I do think they will be 5th to 6th. They will be the people who go out in finals, and I do think that is probably accurate. They have a lot of really, really good players, but they also have a few players that I have frankly never heard of. Maybe if those players are better than I imagine them to be, they're gonna do great, and they're maybe even getting top 4 then. But if it's just regarding Variel and Zerilia who's gonna carry all of them, then maybe the other 4 teams that I have in mind are just gonna have the better overall roster, filling that 4th slot as well, and ending up with better scores in the late stages.
So, I actually disagree with all you guys. I personally think
DNQ.
Indo's going.
DNQ.
I think Indo's going top 16.
Whoa!
Simply because in the past, if you look at what happened 6WC1, what happened? They didn't make it out of groups, okay, and then they went 0-2, and they didn't make it out of groups again, and they had a ton of hype last year. I remember everywhere I saw there was hype around Indo, but what happened?
Lost
They didn't
to
make it out of groups.
Pakistan.
That's
Wait, no, that's
crazy.
fair. That's fair. No, I kind of agree. I kind of agree.
The only reason why they aren't lower, in my opinion, is because they have Zerilia. But if they didn't have Zerilia,
Yeah.
I would say top 32.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not high.
Wait,
you
no.
can speech bubble me after
Do
this.
you
I don't
not
care.
know who
I am not high on. Yes, I know
speak.
who Yamar Godding is. I
No,
am
no,
not high on Indo at all.
Throne
Sorry, I don't
absolute-
do the hype anymore.
Throne is
I don't-
absolute
That's why-
like quad killing the commentary, penta
No,
killing
no,
the
no, no.
commentary booth now.
You know
Um,
what? Like, no,
honestly?
like, actually, no. Throne
Yeah, no,
made me
Philosopher,
reconsider. Throne made me reconsider my opinion.
Yeah,
I
like,
think
there's-
I will go with top 8 at least. So now,
Okay.
like,
There's
not
been
top
so
4.
much hype. There's been so much hype. but they've never lived up to it. As far as I remember, I've seen hype around them every year, but they've only done something in 6WC1. But there's hype in 2, 3, and 4. And what have they done?
Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
but
That's
no-
true.
I think Thrones definitely bring out a good point. Last year, I also said Indonesia's consistently across the years, Indonesia's greatest enemy is themselves. And we saw that exactly happen last year. And it's just the thing that about last year to this year is that I think the carry potential in some of these, like Indonesia didn't have like these level players last year, but this year they have Zerilia, they have Variel, they have crazy players at the tippy top, and that's what's making me believe that they have what it takes. But I definitely agree with your take. Is it enough for me to throw it down the top 16 or top 32? Definitely not for me. But I would still, I think a happy like top 8 would be good for the entire commentary booth. Thoughts on that, guys?
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
That's fair, I guess.
yeah.
Sure.
Let's just
Yeah.
let's put
I
it top
totally agree.
top 8. But I think this is a possible winning team. If Indonesia gets their
Yes.
shit together,
Yes.
it's a potential winning team.
Yes.
If they get their shit together. Okay, let's move away from the Zeridia Glaze. We do that all the time. Let's go over to Japan. This is a interesting country. Japan has always been known to be one of those countries not very strong in standard but insane in all other game modes. Taiko. And this roster has some pretty interesting players. I think this is a completely new roster. And I think the thing to note about Japan as a team is that they didn't participate in the 6-digit Asia Pacific Cup, but at the same time, they also had a 1v1 6-digit Japanese tournament. So for what it's worth, I think a lot of these players have experience. I think they have like presence in tourneys, and that is definitely going to be very significant. I'm just gonna zoom in onto some of these players, and you already see that there are some very, very impressive players. Like you look at Miyavi, you have Miyavi and Mikyu Genki, whatever. Very, very strong player as well, just by virtue of their top plays. And then you have like Miski. Miski was a 1K World Cup badged player in 2024, so very strong in a 1K World Cup. I'm so sorry, 1K World Cup champion, as well as the first place in the Japanese 1v1 Japanese tournament I mentioned before. So if you had to ask me, Japan sort of falls into that bracket of like China, or where like they are strong in their own region, or they have a strong regional presence, but when it comes to actual international performance, it's a lot more ambiguous. I'd say top 24, me personally. Philoxen, what about you?
No, I don't have much to say. I think I agree with top 24, and yeah, just the fact that it's gonna be a downgrade regardless of how well they trained their players this year. But last year they got top 7, top 8 placement in 6WC, and I don't think this is gonna be easy to replicate once again. So I agree with top 24.
I put them a bit down. I put them maybe top 32. I do think they have some potential. I would say that this potential has not been really realized to us outsiders, a little bit like China. You kind of have to be within the circle. But when I'm looking at, for example, we put a top 24, which is Australia, which is a team that has more experience, I would say that I'm comfortable putting Japan in top 32.
Yeah, I see it similarly. I see them qualifying. I don't see them actually going anywhere far. They lost all their good players compared to last year. Yu is gone, Sino is gone. They don't have anyone left really. They have a few up and coming players, but I don't think they have the experience that they would need to actually make it far here. That's what I would be predicting.
So I put him in top 16, but I have no idea if that's really where they should be. Just because I don't exactly know how well they're gonna do and versus the other countries that are higher and lower on the tier list. So top 16 is where I place them strictly based off of their qualifier seed last year.
Okay. Yeah, I think a good middle ground, just assessing all of the predictions that we have on the board, perhaps top 24 Or Throne, would you
Yeah.
be down? Would you be down to move it down to top 32 because you're like currently the highest rank?
Down to top 32.
Yeah.
I'll move it to 24, I guess. I'll move to
Okay.
24.
20.
Okay.
Let's go down to 24. Let's go down to 24. I think that's a good middle ground. Okay, let's move very quickly on to the next country, and this one is gonna be our neighbor. It's gonna be Malaysia. Malaysia has it's been one of those countries that's been falling off throughout the years. I think their 2023 roster, I believe, was the strongest. 2024 had some hard hitters with you're seeing here Garville slash Glaucia, Article, Fizz, LSC, and someone here. This year they don't have anyone, with the exception of Moist Onagiri. I believe someone here didn't register for 6WC in time, silly bozo. But that's it. I don't have high hopes for this Malaysian roster. Call me a hater because I'm Singaporean, but frankly, this is like a borderline qual team, if they even qual. I still do think that they have what it takes to qual, but definitely not high, which is why I'm going top 32 with this.
Okay. You know, now that Gamili is saying that, and just at least considering they have someone from the last year's roster, I definitely realize that they should be placed higher than Hong Kong in my individual list. So I'm gonna put Malaysia for top 32, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, all the Hong Kong fans, I'm gonna remove you down. I'm gonna move you down to DNQ. But yeah, Frunan, what are your thoughts?
I'm on the hater train myself.
He's always on the
you know,
hater train.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry,
He's
but
always
I
on
put
the
them in
hater
not qualifying. I think that yeah, it's just a situation of they do not have that enough of anything. I would say when it comes to power, when it comes to experience, I don't think this team has it. So for me, it's a DNQ.
Yeah, it's really tough to say. Last year they still had some of their really good players left, and this year we have Moist Oniga, which is the only player I have never heard of this last roster from last year. So I really can't tell whether they qualify just barely or if they just DNQ. I would give them the benefit of the doubt just because of the legacy that they have inherited here from last year, that they might have a chance at qualifying. But I don't see them making it anywhere far. I don't think the experience is there.
I mean, with every country, they've lost, like every country has lost a ton of talent coming back from this year compared to last year. So I think I'm a little bit more bullish than the rest of you guys. I think Malaysia is going to be top 24, but they still could very well end up in top 32.
Okay.
It's just a matter of how the bracket shakes out, in my opinion.
Okay. I think it's best. I think we can be optimistic. You know, I think top 32 is where we should put them first. If we run out of space, I definitely think that Malaysia is definitely very close to falling off into that DNQ status for us. So for now, let's put it in top 32. Let's move right down to our next country. And this one, last year, they made absolute waves. So we'll see how they do this year. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Team Pakistan. Probably the craziest roster from last year. The team who upset Indonesia last year. Seat 7, seat 23, upsetting seat 7 or some shit. Definitely very, very crazy. But let's pull back into this roster. What do we have with this roster? We have some, pretty strong players. We have Doggerism returning back again, and we also have the experience in Demon for Days. Demon for Days has been in the scene for quite some time. I think Frunan personally knows him pretty well as well as Torty, who's been in some pre-tournament events if I'm not mistaken, and overall just a very solid player in his own right. Where I put them, I really don't know if they're gonna be higher than Hong Kong, unfortunately, just due to a lack of experience. So I mean, Philosopher, what are your thoughts?
Oh no, man! I have to disagree here because I think they are stronger than Hong Kong with all the respect. But yeah, just looking at the players, you have Torty who got in the podium placement of one of our festival events. If I remember correctly, it was Backstab Bootcamp. And then you have Doggerism, also a very experienced player. So they are very much stronger than Hong Kong, in my opinion. I don't know. I think they are stronger than Malaysia as well. So for now, myself, I would put them in top 24. But if we later find out about some more stronger teams, then I would put them lower, I think. But yeah, Frunen.
Yeah, I'm sort of a similar vibe. I definitely think they are qualifying. I think that you can a bit underestimate Tordi, but Tordi is a really good up and rising player that I definitely see doing well in this tournament. If they get in their element, Demon for days as well, a returning player that is, I mean, returning for me at least, is pretty good. I think overall the team has enough to qualify for sure. However, seeing our top 24 currently, I do not see them being on that same level. They can be surprising me again, but for now, I'll put them on top 32. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I've talked a lot with Wings and Doggerism over the past year, and they were always very worried that there would actually not even be a Pakistani team for this year, because everyone ranked up right after the tournament, and there wasn't any 6 digits left that would be interested for Pakistan. I'm just really happy to see a team at all, and I'm also really happy to see Doggerism return. He's a really cool player, really cool dude. Have seen him through a lot of tournaments over the past year. He's been really active. Took a little break, I think, but yeah, he's back, and hopefully with the further that the team needs to accomplish anywhere close of a ranking that they had last year. Totti obviously is really good. I haven't really heard of anyone else besides those two. I do see them qualifying for sure. I don't know. I think they are probably better than most of those top 32 teams that we are gonna see. So I would place them at, speculating top 24 right now, but I would be happy to bump them down later. It's tentative, really, but I do see them being better than some of these teams.
So considering their 6 APC placement, seed 17, I personally see 16 teams that I think just outright beat Pakistan. So I don't exactly think that they qualify, but certainly these up-and-coming players could throw everything for a loop and maybe they do qualify, but I personally don't think they qualify this year.
Okay. Let's put them in, put them once again in the round of 32 camp. I would say. I don't think they DNQ necessarily, and for what it's worth, I think there are going to be a lot more 5-man rosters that will be easy slots in DNQ. So I'm going to move ahead with the next team on the chopping board, and I think guys, last year, guys, we had USA at the very end, and it was gonna be super fucking aura. This time we have our our hard hitter right at the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your 6th APC winner and the Brazil of 6WC 2025. It is Team Philippines. This team is so fucking stacked. Hard F. I'm gonna drop an F bomb because it's important. Every one of these players I recognize, and that's how you know it's fucked up. You have players like Edex Mandrike, June, and Zix returning from 6WC 2023. Edex arguably one of the strongest mechanics players. Zix arguably one of the strongest players, not this year, but last year in 2024. And 2024 was a whole nother step up in difficulty. On par, I would say, with Zaridia. And then you have players like Yura coming back from the 2023 roster. And you have players like Camus Marco, an up-and-coming player, Rajan Yuna from the 6 APAC roster, as well as Zavi, who is probably also, close to that level of like Variel from Indonesia. And of course, you have a very strong captain to round it all off in Hushin. Hushin was the C-team captain in 2024 and has a huge presence in the tourney scene and knows a lot of players. He knows his shit when it comes to staffing. And overall, this roster is just... I can't say that on stream. Veloxen, just throw what you have.
Okay, I have a couple of things to say. I spent the entirety of 2 years beating Philippines in 6WC. For what? For what, may I ask? For them to fucking reunite, make the strongest D-ranker team in the history of 6WC, and shit on Ukraine and everyone? Hell yeah. I guess looks like it. What can you do against this?
With the weakest 6-digit player base that the scene has seen in years, by the way.
Exactly. Oh my god, you have so many like podium placers of the Epic Theater, such as Zavi. Then they have Camo at the fourth place. Your six APC winners, bro. They have like so many fits, like that's crazy. So obviously, I think without a doubt, I am putting them in the NQ.
All right, all right, all
Base
right.
take.
I agree.
Alright, just kidding.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think it's just. I mean, what can you say more? It's
The Brazil of 2025.
yeah, I would say like the one caveat I wanted to say is look at Philippines. You know, previously they had like a year where their problem was appearing in general. But when I look at these players, I don't really see any players that are problematic. I would say when it comes to whether it be like practicing.
Sorry.
Well, I think overall this team,
Yeah.
there's just nothing I can say more. Just yeah, that's my number one.
Yeah, about problematic. I could say so many bad things right now, but I'm gonna withhold. I'm just happy they don't have Fladrake as well. That would have been an absolute disaster for everyone involved except them. This roster is insane, but unfortunately I cannot feasibly place them as champions because that's Switzerland.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I see his
So-
point.
So yeah, no, they are definitely winning this. Like, there is no fucking way they fumble that one.
The no B record screening in question.
They would need to do so many things wrong, like 3 people not appearing for grand finals for them, and even then they probably still win because I think no matter which 4 of them show up, they can probably 4-man any map anyway. So yeah, they're winning. It's not even close.
I kind of disagree with you, Lenexia. I do think that Philippines win,
Okay.
Okay.
but I think it go with one of the countries we'll discuss later on. I think it goes to bracket reset tiebreaker, and it's very close.
Ooh,
No way.
okay.
Okay.
I think so. So
I'm sure
Throne-
it's Switzerland. It's Switzerland. I know.
Throne, I love you for that. Thank you for saying that. You know, just another day you prepare a tournament for 8 months, only for a country like Philippines to form and absolutely ruin your grand finals. While I think Philippines is number 1, we also thought that Brazil was like the unanimous 1v1 the unanimous first place, pardon me, last year. And Singapore managed to topple that. Self-glaze, obviously, intended. But I think with the right effort, there are countries that can beat them. I think Throne definitely has the country that I have in mind as well.
yeah,
I think Philippines is beatable. Kings can be slayed, gods can be slayed, but it's definitely a super hard uphill battle to climb, a super steep uphill battle to climb. And for what it's worth, as you mentioned, right, Lenexia, it would take a lot of people falling down for Philippines to fall against any other country apart from those who I also think are at the top. So for what it's worth now, it's important to remember, Indonesia and Philippines did a scrim. It went to tiebreaker. They didn't have their full rosters, but it is something to think about. At the end of the day, it's gonna be down to planning. And I think in any OSU tournament, strategy can prevail over just raw strength. So while I'm going to put them in number 1 now, that can definitely change. And I think I think I'm waiting. I really want and really hope countries can prove me wrong.
I would
Let's
love
put them.
to.
Yep, 100%.
There was this one
yeah.
chatter who said their
Yeah.
biggest weakness is actually the OSU support team, which is just hilarious to me. Okay, go
No,
on.
their biggest support was the OSU support team, bro. Like they didn't get anyone killed. They should get banned for the shit they sent
I
in there.
was honestly expecting half the team getting bombed.
They should have gotten banned for the shit they send in their private channels, but I'm not gonna talk about that. Let's move along from the first place of this year to the second place of last year. My home country, Madura Singapura, to everybody at home. Happy
It's
National
so
Day.
over.
It's Singapore's birthday today, so funnily enough. But yeah, as Lunakia said, it's so over. This country roster is probably the biggest downgrade. I mean, last year was probably the biggest upgrade in Singapore's history of the World Cup scene. Second place, also Singapore's greatest accomplishment in any World Cup, full stop. And I definitely think this year is a huge drop-off. you have some strong players returning. Kuchindera as the gimmick specialist, despite being probably the least seen member in last year's roster, being the gimmick specialist definitely has his strengths when it comes to hidden and gimmick. On the other hand, you have players like King of Limb, who is definitely not a weak player by any means. If we were talking power rankings, I would definitely throw them on the same level as, washed Imagating, if that's a good metric to go by. Definitely not a weak player by any sense of the word, but it's gonna be tough, especially given how a lot of these other players, Jensen, Laplace Darkness, Not Roboco, and Unlimitless, are completely new to the tournament scene. You have some players like Reice and the last KFC, but at the end of the day, I'm not really seeing, even as one of the not really a coordinator, but even as a Singaporean brethren myself, not a lot of high hopes, but I definitely hope that my Singaporean friends can pull themselves together. I know King of Limb is a very strong player in his own right, and I hope that him as a captain is more than capable of leading his team. But for now, RO32, I'm sorry. I gotta rip the bandage off. That's the highest placement I'm giving.
Well, I don't know what to say. Like, I hope Kachindra will really carry the team with King of Flame, as Gamili mentioned. But in my opinion, they would go on the same level as Japan.
Whoa.
For now, I'd say it would not go on the same level as Japan. So now, so we're putting it on the top 32. All right, front hand, speak up.
Yeah. That's where I am. I mean, I put myself like them. For me, who I put at the top 32, I'm looking at these teams and I'm thinking like they're gonna be pretty similar in skill. I do think they have potential to go higher. I think they definitely have some experience, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how further much they can go. I mean, we put Australia on top 24, and I don't know if I can put them on the same level. They do have some players, but I don't know if it's enough. So I'm going to put them top 32 with potential for top 24 for sure.
It's so tough for me to say where they will actually place. I don't know any of these players really, so I have them as DNQ personally, but I would be happy to be surprised by literally anything but that.
Okay.
Yeah, with how much talent they lost last year, certainly they're going to take a big hit to their placement. So I put them in top 24, but they certainly could go even lower, even down to like Lunexia with Lunexia DNQ. It's certainly possible, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. I think Singapore as a roster has always been one of those rosters that you look at it and you don't know a lot of players, at least pre 2024. There were a lot of players, you see one or two that you kind of know, but I think at the end of the day, a qual is definitely possible. In Singapore's history, I think we've qualified for every single World Cup. So I'm willing to go top 32, but I really don't think anywhere higher. As Cohen said last year, right? 2024 was SG's year. I think this is like Chile in 2023 to Chile in 2024. So yeah, I think top 32 is the highest I'm willing to go. So I think that's a safe bet to put it right now. Beside Malaysia. Beside Malaysia. Okay. All right, let's move on to our next country. It's gonna be South Korea, which I don't think this roster is actually participating. I got a DM from their captain that they won't. But just to humor a bit, this is an interesting roster. In 6 APC, they got 5th to 6th, despite only having 5 players. I like to say that is freaking diabolical. And I do actually think that they have some interesting talent. Of course, Paradigm and Yuno is one of the older South Korean players, and Paradigm is a very strong player. Core 6-3 champion, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm not wrong, I'm just going to do a quick check, but I believe they have an OC champion in their roster, in Sun Yata, Mania World Cup 2022 winner. So, I mean, I don't think that matters for much, but hey, that's a fun token. Where they end up, with what I saw from APAC, I'd actually say top 24. That's where I'm gonna put them. But I mean, what do you guys think?
No. I just wanted to say, like, Do you guys think I'm crazy if I want to put them at top 24? And then Gamili just did it instantly. so like, what can I say? You have Paradigm, you have Yuno. Yuno is probably one of the strongest captains of 6WC 2024. Like, there was a show match between captains, and Yuno got like top 5. Like, among all of the captains. So this is super strong, and with this support from Paradigm and all the others, I believe that top 24 is very much doable. But yeah, Frunen, you go.
This listen, I really wanna say they can do it because I think it would be a crazy story. But when you talk about a 5-person team, it's just I don't know. It's just hard to see them
It's hard.
go this hard. But I think they have a strong core. I think they have a really strong core. Is it enough to qualify? I think I'm doubtful. I'll be honest. But they definitely have showcased a lot of skills. So I'll put them in top 32 despite my better judgment. But yeah, that's why I'm gonna put them.
Yeah, so Gamili said something about Paradigm, and I absolutely disagree. He's not just very strong, he's absolutely nuts. This guy is insane. If you give him an HD map, he is going to FC that hidden map. He just can't do anything besides FCing hidden maps. So, on all other skill sets as well, he's gonna do just fine. And I think just by that alone, they are going to qualify. And it's actually the only non-8-person roster that I set as qualifying. Spoiler. I don't think they are gonna make it that far simply because they do like the players after that. But yeah, top 32 is definitely something they can achieve.
Yeah, frankly, I think just like Frunen, I think they barely qual. I can't see a 5-man team doing anything else besides qualifying.
Yeah, I think I think top 34 is like an okay placement, but I think top 32 is sort of what the consensus are. I will say last time they performed in 6 APC, we all doubted them, and they somehow managed to get 56. So I'm definitely saying look out for this team. That where carries are concerned, this team is the carry team of all time. But yeah, let's move along. I hope South Korea plays, but I don't know if they will, according to their captain. But we are sort of getting to the end of the APAC region, so let's move on to Taiwan. Okay. Taiwan, full roster change, but this is one of the countries where I think they have team spirit. Taiwan in APC was definitely a shocker to me. The 4th place, definitely no slouch, but they do lose quite a few hard hitters. I think from APC, they lost 969. One of the poolers for the pooling contest and the winner of the pooling contest last year. A very strong gimmick player from then. I also think they lost their captain in Magician or Moshutia. And that is going to be a pretty big hit because they were a very strong player. They also lost Sassfries as well, which is also a pretty big hit. Overall, they lost a bunch of their carries from 6 APC. And although I do think from a synergy standpoint, they have what it takes. From a player standpoint, they have some players in What the Hell Bro, Corey, Azaria, Richelieu, and Runic Fountain. I think these players are definitely pretty strong in their own right. I honestly don't see them climbing higher than I don't see them climbing higher than China. I think China is a good place to put them at.
We have China top 16.
What do you think
no, I wish I knew. I would say top 24.
Okay. I could see top 24 as well.
No, wait. This just looks like I'm putting everyone in top 24 just for the save option. Wait, this is not funny, bro. This is not funny at this point. I will have to remove someone like really soon with this tendency. But yeah, that's what I'm going with right now.
No, I'm more with Gami on this. I think top 16 is a reasonable one. I think especially considering how all of them have experienced. I believe so, at least most of them have experience. And for those who don't,
Chinese scene.
I mean, yeah, Chinese scene. That's all you have to say. I think they definitely have the players to go far. So I think top 16 is reasonable. Top 24 is like potentially, but for me, I'm going to put them the same as I put China, which is top 16.
Yeah, Taiwan is another tough one because they have this Chinese syndrome that I talked about earlier, where they play a lot of internal tournaments. But unlike the Chinese players, the Taiwanese actually show up a lot to international tournaments as well. Some of them aren't even in this roster, interestingly enough. Magician, for example, I believe is Taiwanese, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, Magician.
I don't know where he is. Maybe he's
Ranked
the
up,
B-team
ranked up.
captain.
I think
Oh,
ranked up.
he ranked up. Oh, that's
I think
crazy.
ranked
Okay.
up.
Magician is just so strong. Yeah, Runic Fountain, though, tucked at the bottom of their roster, is probably their strongest player. I've seen that guy in action a few times, and he is top 5 in match calls fairly often. I can see this team doing quite well, and I would place them in top 16 right now. Around where China is, I think they're actually gonna do better in China overall, but I do think that there are teams that are gonna top them.
So, I think Taiwan is going to be top 24 in my opinion. I think they're going to do about as well as Australia, maybe a tiny bit better. Just based on what you guys have said about their players, but I can't see them getting top 16 just based off of what we've seen from the other teams that I have in the top 16. So, that's my opinion.
Okay. Well, I guess this is another case of the top 24. I think Mirage has already done it for us. I'm very excited to see what Taiwan does this year. And as you mentioned, right, they don't have the similar issue of China having Discord banned, so they have the international experience. So definitely looking forward to a lot of these players. I love Taiwan as a country, and I've spoken to some of them. They're an amazing bunch. So hope they do well. Let's move on to our second to last country from the APAC region. This is gonna be Thailand. This is every year Thailand just comes back, and I never know what to do with Thailand. I'd honestly be inclined to say DNQ. I don't know a lot of these players. I know some of them are strong. I love Whitecat. If I believe is pretty solid. 300 PP here and there. Poop Power as well. A mapper for MWC, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, I really don't know what to say for Thailand. And throughout the years, you've always seen Thailand just really get on the bottom end of the seeding. So I personally am not a believer. I'm gonna go Frunan mode and honestly say DNQ for Thailand.
Oh man. I mean, like as Gami said, it's gonna be a borderline qualification for Thailand this year around as well, I believe. Just looking at their seeding from the previous year, it seeds 32. And 32 teams is exactly what we are gonna be getting for the main bracket of the tournament. I don't know. It's like it's just gambling at this point, because you never know. Like they're gonna be
No
really
way.
close. So I don't know. I'm okay. I will be on the more prominent side, more optimistic. So I'm gonna put them at top 1. So I mean top 32. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Top 1 is crazy.
Predictions are gambling here to share first, guys.
All right.
much-
For me, it's a DNQ. I think they definitely have some power, but I think they have some retired players that are returning. They have a mapper, no offense, Puck Power. You make great maps, but I don't know about your playing ability. I think Innocent Human had some recent tournament experience, so there's that. But overall, I just do not see them have enough to qualify.
Yeah, I agree. Innocent Human I've seen around a bit, but I don't think he did particularly well. So I just don't really see them going anywhere far. I think they're gonna do fine in minor league, simply because they have a full team compared to some other teams we are gonna set at this DNQ. Because I do think that we end up setting this one as DNQ.
No.
Frankly, I think they're going to do just about as good as South Korea, so I think they are going to get top
Whoa.
32. But
Okay.
I have seen Innocent Human, and I have seen him get better and better, although I don't know how much that will really impact his overall team performance, considering the other countries that are surrounding top 32.
Call it a sleeper, I guess, but I mean, at the end of the day, where should we put this? I think majority rules in favor of DNQ, so I think we should just put it in DNQ for now. We can always shift around and whatnot, but yeah, I think that's where it's gonna sit for now. And with that, let's move on to the last country of the APAC region. Now, this one is a bit more interesting. It's going to be Team Vietnam. This Vietnam as a roster through and through has been known for two things: underperforming in the World Cup and having a lot of fucking multi-accounts. And this roster is definitely an interesting one. I think the next year later on has a bit more to share, but I think Mahendro Chino in the captain's roster is very, very good. Very strong. Not in the captain's roster is very, very good. I mean, Chino taking the backseat this time, having more time to play as one of the strongest hard rock players in the scene. Definitely excited for him to see him shine. Zinx as well coming in from the 6 APC roster alongside Festive Axolotl. Definitely very happy to see them back. Zinx attack player, very, very strong as well. And you also have, you know, some flash fire, very solid scores from a bunch of them. You have players like Soft Manchino, Marian top play, very solid. Yukihime, Yuhime as well. Ilum first, Soft Ranchio in their captain, as well as Festive Axolotl, all with very, very solid top plays as well to boot. I think from experience wise, this team is a top 8 team for me, I would say. They don't go lower than top 8 on paper. Philoxen?
Okay, wait. I don't
He's the
know.
thinker.
No,
Roast
wait.
Let him cook.
No, like smart thoughts were chasing me, but I was faster. So I'm gonna put them at top 16.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I would say, because these are all players that have played tournament before, and all players that have experience, and I think almost all of them. But seeing the experience they had and how they played, I am uncertain if it's a top 8 team. So I think it has potential, but for now I'm gonna put them top 16 because I don't think they have enough power to. They don't really have a huge carry like a lot of the teams needs. To do.
True.
I would put Vietnam at top 16.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, they like Jerry Jumbo. Without Jerry Jumbo, this team kind of fell apart a fair bit. He was definitely the best player that team ever had, in my opinion. That guy was insane, and they don't have that anymore.
No,
they still
Aurora de you. Those two though.
They still have some decent players. Zicines, Shino, obviously. Axolotl is also quite good. Illuminist. Yeah, they have decent players. They don't have the star players that some other countries have, though. I personally set them as top 16, but I can see them making top 8. Don't get me wrong, I do think it's a strong roster. But I don't think they have the potential to really do what they did in previous years.
Yeah, frankly, I agree. With the loss of Jerry Jumbo, I can't really see them getting any higher than top 16. They certainly could, but I personally do not believe that it is possible for them. I do believe in the hype of Festival Axolotl, considering what Millie was doing before stream. Anyway, Vietnam, top 16 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Tycho.
I also like to take this moment to salute our fallen brethren, FireRate88, the first 6WC that he is not a part of the roster, the Vietnamese roster, one of the longest standing players in the World Cup, one of the most influential players in the World Cup. It's sad to see you go. But anyways, I think a good place to put them, top 16. I really want to see Vietnam do well. Just Asian brethren, and I love Chino. But yeah, let's move on to our next region. It's gonna be by far the biggest region. It's the sort of European region, and we are gonna kickstart this region with Algeria. Now let's see how this goes. I don't really know a lot of players from this roster. I'll be the first to admit, and I believe last year they didn't have a roster, so it's great to see them here. Philoxen, what are your thoughts?
If anyone from Algeria, I see. If anyone from Algeria is watching us, hello guys. I'm really sorry, but I have to agree with Mr. Emily, and I will put you at the NQ.
Yeah.
If you actually manage to qualify and get top 32, I don't know. Maybe we make another donation goal. Maybe we make another donation goal for them. But yeah. For now, it's the NQ for me.
Right, I'm not
And
gonna do a full-on YouTube apology like Philoxen did here. I'll be honest. I think that Algeria is they just lack players. That's all it turns down to. I think their captain is actually pretty good at easy or something like that, and they do have something, but overall it's just not enough. So sorry, Algeria. Much love though.
Yeah, it's awesome to see that they have a roster again this year. I don't think they had one last year. So that's really cool to see. I can't wait for the Philoxen apology letter. Once they do qualify, I do predict that they are going to not qualify though. So let's hope that's correct. So Philoxen doesn't have to, lose all this aura.
I agree with the panel. I agree with the panel that they are not going to qualify. Although, they're not going to qualify because simply because they do not have a full team. What is that? 7 players? Yeah, 7 players.
Yeah, it's 7.
Yeah, and then like I don't exactly know any of these players. I haven't seen them around, so yeah, do not qualify in my opinion.
Yeah. Once again, to reiterate what Linux said, huge shout outs to Algeria for having a roster. It's always great to see more countries show up in the World Cup. It's always great to have, more countries to drag on the runtime of the prediction stream, but it is what it is. Prove me wrong, Algeria. Prove me wrong, Algeria. Let's move along to Austria. Oh boy. All right.
God.
Austria. I think, Philoxen, you know a bit more about this country than me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right. The thing is, they participated in 6EC, but they didn't qualify. That's the thing. And even like if I knew the previous players, these ones are like just pure mystery to me. Kind of the same situation with Algeria. Like Austria, I think they have always had those lineups, like enough people to at least make a decent team, but they never managed to get to the main stage of any like 6EC or 6WC. So just gonna put them in the same seating as Algeria. So another apology letter will come out from me if you manage to qualify, mark my words, but yeah. Please don't.
So, yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Please don't.
Please don't. All right then. Austria I actually want you to go, but not like someone. But yeah, Austria. I think. Unfortunately, I think the thing about 6WC is it brings all these players around, even those who aren't really in tournaments. And I think it's great for this to be sort of your first tournament. So this is my letter to all of those that are going to be in DNQ. Don't worry too much about not qualifying. This is the hardest tournament in 6 digits. Just grind and come back next year. But I'm putting them in not qualifying for now.
PhD ranker. PhD ranker.
Real. Yeah. Last year they actually had a really good player in Greel. They don't have that this year. They didn't really do anything much last year. I see them do only worse this year. So they're not gonna
Last year was the
qualify.
strongest year of 6WC.
Yeah, definitely. Austria has always struggled a lot with, players that are actually good for these international events. They just don't have the players to really pop off anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't really think. Yeah, I agree. They lost their one good player in Greel. I do not see Austria particularly doing very well. Although I could be wrong. We'll see what happens though. I think Austria is also DNQ. We'll do right around where Pakistan and Algeria place.
Yeah, all right. Let's move very quickly along to our next country. Now, this one, shocker in terms of how many players signed up, but it's gonna be Belarus. Okay, I heard from the Belarus trial host that they had something in mind, but I'm sure, Philoxen, you've seen them in 6EC, and I think you have stuff to talk about them.
Right. Right off the bat, I can recognize Amur. Really decent player. Played in previous tournaments. And Amamiya Mitor, of course, the captain of previous Belarusian team for 6EC. Also a great commentator. We did the predictions for like the Russian community. For the CIS predictions of 6WC2024. So huge shout outs. What's up, man? I know you are watching, but anyway, besides that, I actually don't know. Like all of the players are just new, and They will not. Well, if you just look at the placement, they got top 4 and 6 EC this year. But the thing is, Darlong was the carry that they had, and also Foreign, if I remember correctly. But now
Yes,
they don't.
correct. Those
Yeah,
two.
yeah, man. And now they don't have those. So this is gonna be really tough. I don't know. I just don't know about anything. I guess I'm just gonna fill my top 24 row, and this is
No
what we
way.
will. Yeah, I'm gonna be the first one to do such, and I will struggle the most at the end.
Ah, hell
Yeah.
no.
So yeah, I think Belarus has some players that have some experience in tournaments, some that are newer to tournaments. I think they're sort of the 50-50-ish in terms of actual skill. I think as another thing they lack is like a clear carry that I don't really see within the Belarusian team. I do think they definitely could qualify, for me at least. The question is, are they going to be top 24 or top 32? That's sort of my debate. I'm going to put them at top 24. I'm going to be a bit optimistic, but yeah, it's very close for me, and hopefully they do well.
I do think you guys are giving them a little bit too much credit. They're not terrible, but they lost all their good players compared to 6EC. They lost all their good players compared to last 6WC. Yeah, I don't see them really doing all that much. They could qualify and go top 32. They could not qualify, do all right in minor league. I think they're gonna be all right in minor league, actually. They're good enough for that, but for major league, I actually don't see them anywhere but top 32 at most. And that's where I'm gonna put them for now. I'm happy to bump them to DNQ if we need space.
Okay.
Yeah, frankly, I agree with Lunexia. I can't really see them doing very much in major league, but minor league they can certainly make a run. Although I don't think they qualify. I just don't think they qualify. Sorry, Belarus.
Okay. I think round of 32 is a good place to put them. I also sort of bumped it down more. The more I realized, a lot of their carries dropped out. Yeah,
Not
it's gonna
more. All of them.
all of their carries dropped out. So it's gonna be around 32 for me. Let's move on to our next country, and this one is going to be Belgium. Okay, Belgium. A few returning players, I would say, Sandwich and Akimazu. But other than that, I would say that both these players are not too well known, to say the very least. So yeah, it's a bit iffy for me. I still think this is gonna be around top 32 at best, but I think there's a DNQ for me, man.
Ooh, wait, no. Right. So ignore the Among Us. Anyway, you're saying that because you weren't, just taking care about 6EC. But from what I know, even though it says seat 17, I know for a fact that Molias was one of the strongest 6EC players individually, alongside Epic Mode alongside his teammate Epic Mode. Those two, I think they went pretty. They got a high placement in minor league, and Molias was constantly getting those top 10 individual placements in earlier 6EC rounds. So I would say I would put them at top 32 at least, just because of the fact that Molias is a crazy carry, at least on low SR, and they have two really old players coming all the way from 6WC2024.
Yeah, I think I'm also looking at players like Molias and Epic Mode and Sandwich. It's like it's for me it's between DNQ and round 32. I do look at the players in top 32, and I think they do belong there. It could be closer, but I'm gonna put them top 32.
Yeah, this one is another tough one to say if they qualify or not. Molias is really, really good. Especially if these guys do go to minor league, Molias is gonna destroy pretty much everyone in there except for the real top teams in USA, Russia, etc. Besides that, Molias can match literally anyone in minor league and match most good players in major league as well. He's really good. Epic Mode also very good player. I don't really know the other ones, but going by those two alone, I think they have a shot at qualifying. And if they don't, they're gonna do just fine in minor league.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set them as DNQ for now, just because I do want them to destroy minor league. That would be very funny.
Yeah, frankly, I do agree with Lunexia. Do think they do not qualify and they go down to minor league, but I kind of see it as like a, was it Finland with the Giggle 69 last year? Like they're
Mhm.
one good player and then everybody else was kind of not up to snuff
Oh, I
with
know who you're
their
talking about.
carry. Yeah, yeah. So I can't really see them doing very well if they have one star player and then everybody else is kind of falling behind a little bit.
I think
Yeah,
that's
and Mollius is a really new player too, right? I think he started last year, so I don't know if he has the experience needed to actually carry through with his team this year. Maybe next year they're gonna be far enough to actually do well.
Yeah, I think the thing that's putting in R32, and I think we're gonna put in R32 for now, is just that, you know, we at the end of the day they do have Tony experience, they do have a carry, and the same cannot be said for the rest of the players and for the rest of the teams in DNQ. So I think sitting right now in round 32 is okay. Let's move on to the next country, and it is going to be Bulgaria. Bulgaria has had quite a history with 6WC. I mean, has produced a roster every single year, but has always sort of fallen short in terms of, you know, qualification and sort of hugging on the lower end. I don't want to be a downer here, but I think this is another DNQ for me just by looking at the trend of what we've seen, not just in 6WC but in 6EC.
Oh wait, right. Yeah, this time this is not gonna be the same thing as I voted for Belgium. Here I will agree with Gamili that it's just no qualifications. So yeah, that's where I'm putting them. And Fernand, you can
Yeah,
speak up.
it's just a matter of not really having the players sort of settle into any sort of tournament experience, as well as not really being up to par in terms of skill sets, you know, that tournaments needs. That's what's going to be the most difficult for the players that don't play tournaments, you know. They're playing the 200 PP DT farm, and then you put them on an AR8 hidden, they're going to struggle. So no hate, but I'm going to put them on DQ.
Yeah, I've seen Danny around a fair bit. Press BG obviously has played before. I don't really see them qualifying. I think they don't have enough players to actually fill the maps with decent scores in qualifiers. Maybe they can do something in minor league, but even there, I can see it being quite tough for them. Looking at some of the better competition. But yeah, it's a bit rough for Bulgaria this time around.
Yeah, frankly, I agree with Floxen and Gamili. I do not see, even though they have a full roster this year, just considering the trends of past years and considering their 6EC placement, I do not see how they can feasibly get a top 32 seed in this iteration of 6WC.
Yep, I think for now DNQ is sort of there. It's one of those incidents where, you know, not having group stage just makes it more rough. But let's move on to the next country that we have on chopping board, and this time we have Denmark. Now,
Oh,
Denmark
God, yes.
Denmark is an interesting country. I think the next year wants to talk about it more, so I am gonna shift it over to him. But for now, at least, looking at this Danish roster, I am gonna put them at least bottom in top 24. Philoxen?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they have at least
Alright.
3 players coming from the previous year. They also qualified for 6EC 2025, having the carry as Rurup. Really similar by skill, I would say, to Mr. Wong. And I even think they played against each other. So definitely a really good team captain, a strong hard rock player, and everything else. With good support from the Cristiano and Kongihan, I believe they are qualifying 100%. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the new coming players. But all right, this is where the fun starts, because I have my top 24 filled, so I have no
Bro.
idea who I want to remove.
Okay, I guess
So-
while Philoxen is dealing with that, Frunan, would you like the fill in some space?
So for me, I think Denmark does definitely have a decent player and have that carry as Rorup. I would say though that overall throughout the tournament, I am not sure if Rorup is a sufficient enough carry to take this team extremely far. So I do see this team qualifying for sure. I do not know if I put them in the top 24. So for me, it's a top 32 team.
Yeah, I think Rube is really good. Decrescendo is really good. Congo is really good. All the returning players are generally really good, but all of the other ones are very new tournament players, and that's what Denmark has always been struggling with throughout the recent years. That they have their returning players from all the previous iterations who keep getting better and better every time, and it really shows they do better every time. But then they have a lot of players who drop off. Like if they had Nayad this year around, for example, they would have done a lot better, I think. That said, they do have new talent every time. It's hard to tell if this new talent is gonna pull their own weight. Oftentimes, Denmark has the issue that that is not the case. I do see them definitely qualifying. I also do see them winning a match or two, so I would put them at top 24 right now. But they don't really go further than that unless their new players are really cracked, which historically hasn't been the case, unfortunately.
So I personally think Denmark is going to be top 32. I think they have the capability to go higher, but I think they're just going to get low SR, considering that they don't have a fourth. For at least as far as I'm aware, they don't have a fourth for most of the slots, and if that's the case, then they're going to get low SR'd by other teams that do have a fourth player for their slots. So that's my opinion. I don't think they can get much higher than top 32, but certainly upsets may happen.
Yeah, okay, I mean, it's pretty here and there with all of our predictions. I do think that the general consensus is top 32. So I think we are going to bump them down, but I think this is definitely one of the countries that I could definitely see moving up when we do some rearrangements, just by nature of their carries. But let's move on to the next country that we have on the list, and this time it is going to be Finland, with Contito returning, I believe, as the captain. This roster is pretty solid, if I do say so myself. Decrescendo it's really funny. Decrescendo and Allegro are both returning players of their roster, and they all have like some musical. They're all like performance directions and music. I find it really funny. But yeah, similar to last year, we see some returning players in Alu 16, Allegro, and Contito. And from what I know, they are pretty damn strong players. So personally, I'm gonna put them where I put Denmark in, right beside Denmark in top 24 because of the returning players. Philoxen?
Yeah, right. That's literally like the mirror situation with, Denmark. 3 players coming from 6WC 2024. All the other 5, there are new ones. So, yeah, and even looking at the placement in 6WC, they both got from 13th to 16th. So, the only question for me is now, who else do I put in top 32 to to leave the space for them?
Frunan, come in, bro. Come in, bro.
I mean, yeah, I'm on the same wavelength of putting them next to Denmark. I think Denmark slightly has the stronger carries, but in terms of skill, I would put them very similar. So for me, I put them the same on top 32.
Yeah, Denmark, I would say, is a tiny bit stronger. Finland has the exact same issue as Denmark, where their players are coming and going every year. They have their returning players. Those players get better. Well, maybe said for Alu, he's just the GOAT anyway. You know, he doesn't need to get any better anymore. He has just maxed out aura, so he's fine. But yeah, Conchi, Allegro get better every year. But yeah, again, that players are not returning, so they just don't have the talent that keeps growing. They keep getting new players. At least they have a full team, right? So that's good. Finland has a lot of trouble getting that full roster. But yeah, they have a full team, and I think they are definitely qualifying. I can see them doing somewhat as good as Denmark, but I do think that Denmark is definitely the stronger roster and has more potential to actually go further if they play really well.
So frankly, I agree with Frunin. I think they definitely qualify, but I do not know if they are able to beat out the other teams that I have in top 24 simply because of low SR and 4th player gap. So we'll see what happens, but I think they will be in top 32.
Yep. Thanks for that short and sweet way to end it. I think top 32 is where we have them at right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or top 24.
No, looks like top 24. Yeah.
Okay, top 24. I think I'm happy with top 24. Let's move on to our next country, and that is going to be France. I would love to talk about this roster. But okay, I'm gonna give Ludexia the mic. I know Germany and France have had some stuff.
Oh,
in
are
the
you
past.
sure?
So I mean, you take it, dude. You take it, dude. We can rearrange the order.
Okay.
Oh, good lord. All right. Letting the German talk about France is that's a decision.
Big mistake,
Yeah,
bro.
sure. I think France DNQs, obviously. They're not
Oh,
gonna
yep,
make it.
all
They're
right,
gonna
yep,
actually
all
be
right.
the bottom
All
of the
Alright, go
barrel.
next. Go
It's
next.
over.
Skip.
All right. No, but in all seriousness, I think they're gonna do all right. They're definitely a lot weaker than they were previously. Like DK Nagi not being there, Dendosa not being there is an insanely big hit. Their only returning player is Momo Nagi, who is not really all that good. Like Momo is okay on hidden and gimmick, right?
Whoa.
But there are certainly better players even on those skill sets than Momo and Nagi. It's probably still one of their best players. Green Melon is really good. Dylan is okay, and everyone else is just not really all that good, unfortunately. I can see them making it to top 24 to top 16, but no further.
Yeah, no. I know some stuff about the players as well. At least half of the roster is coming from 6EC. Well, Green Melon was the captain of Team France for 6WC, got 4th place, which is really good. Then, of course, you have Momonagi, the dinosaur of 6-digit scene, literally like playing like all the way from 2021 or something. Then we have Sosog. As well, he was one of the major team players from 6EC, as well as Dylan from Minor League and Hecate. So at least those two, I can already tell they stayed in 6-digit just to play 6WC. I'm pretty sure they trained a lot, so therefore I'm gonna put them in top 16.
Yeah, I think it's a bit close for me. You have a team that all of the players are experienced, whether it be they're from 6EC or Newcomers Cup or just from previous 6WCs. I think in terms of skill, they definitely have the required skill for a lot of the maps needed. So for me, I look at them and I think they are a top 16 team.
Yeah, I agree. They're a top 16 team. I personally think if they had kept some people from last year's roster, I think they could have certainly have been higher. But a lot of people ranked up. I know Lesby certainly is a big loss to their team.
Yep, true.
So I think putting them in top 16, just like their placement last year, is very fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair as well. France is always one of those rosters that's sort of in the middling ground of 6WC, and I think this roster definitely has a potential of going up. The only question is how badly do they want it. Let's move on to our next. Oh, sorry, do you have something to say?
No, I was just gonna say France is never gonna really do well. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah,
Never.
We can move on.
Well, we're going from one country to another, and I'm not gonna let Alexia talk about this one. It's gonna be Team Germany, baby. So
You're not
before the
gonna let
stream,
me?
Alexia was
Aw.
like DNQ. I mean, Ludexia before the stream said DNQ, but I think we can leave Ludexia to the last of this one. This team has a lot of returning players. You have Zerto, Lunexia, and Hopes. As well as Hopes taking captaining this year. I think that's a very, very good decision. A lot of experience going into this roster. Big losses, I would say, in Rota Virgil as well as Aspect. We're not going to see them come back again, which is a shame, but for what it's worth, I think with what they do have their spawns, I believe Gliding Slime, and a returning player, 6WC podium finisher and Turley Manor, ex-6WC host. You all love him. I can't say that on stream. So overall, I think this is a strong German roster. I would honestly go so far to say that this is a top 8 roster for me. But Philoxen, what about you?
Yeah, all right, man. No, I just have to agree. Germany is one of those countries that usually did really well in those 6EC, 6WC tournaments. But yeah, still, like, they usually got to those like late stages, like finals, for example, in 6EC as well, and in 6WC 2023. But when it comes to skill cap, unfortunately, it's just not enough. So top 8 is definitely very much feasible, but I don't know about top 4, man.
I am way less of a believer than you two.
Oh
in Germany.
shit.
Way less.
Okay.
All right, let's get onto it. Firstly, the average age of this team is about 30. But but
It's
putting
not,
that
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Crazy
He's not
shot.
wrong.
Crazy
He's not
shot.
wrong.
putting
What a way
that
to-
aside, I genuinely think this Germany team has similar issues that I had with the previous Germany team, which is a lack of power. I think all of these players individually are alright. They have Lunex as pretty much their carry, but I just see a lot of weaknesses in this team. So I do not see them going as far as top 8, in my opinion. I see them performing similar to France. I just don't see them doing well in the later rounds at all.
Okay, throne. Before Lunexia spits. What about you, bro?
Okay, so I've heard a lot of rumblings just outside of 6WC, just saying that Germany's on the come up in the 6-digit scene. So obviously, I gotta place them higher up. Although I agree with Philoxen, the question about skill cap is very real in my opinion. I have no idea if they're able to beat the teams I have placed higher in the bracket. So I think top 8 is where I'm going to be placing them.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. Germany's roster this year is definitely the weakest state it has ever been in. We lost most of our good players. Ruttervogel is taking a break. He's still 6-digit. He could come back next year, but he has been on a tournament break for the past few months. Red ranked up, Aspect ranked up. Sushi, we banished to be captain for the B team because we didn't have a captain, unfortunately. Otherwise, Sushi would 100% be in our team right now. He is definitely more than good enough, and some of these players wouldn't be here with Sushi was. Yoento also ranked up. But we do have returning players in Herbs, Toaster, and Turley, which is really great. And a lot of people are going to sleep on this, but Gliding Slime is actually our best player, and it's not close. This guy FCs every single skill set in the entire map pool if he has a good day. He is consistently getting at least 500k. This guy is insane, and you should watch out for that guy.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
we're not gonna make top 4 though. We aren't gonna sweep France though. That at the very least will happen.
Okay, well,
Alright,
Lunexia,
alright.
I think you should have the privilege of putting the pin in Germany. Where do you see them going? Is top 8 your
Our
pick?
sights are currently set on semifinals. We're gonna make top 8 no matter what.
Okay. I'm.
Alright,
As
that's
long
fine with me. That's fine
Yeah,
with me.
as
Alright.
long as no death threats happen, I'm talking about a certain speech bubble.
We're
got it.
going to bump some cars, yeah, for sure.
Hey, personally, I'm a believer of Team Germany. Like, they might not have my goat medal, but I'm still a believer. But let's move on to the next country that we have on our list, and it is going to be Hungary. Oh my goodness, Hungary has one returning player. It's gonna be Shinoa Hiragi. I do believe that I've seen them in quite a few places. Can't quite remember, but Philoxen, maybe you have something. Maybe you know something I don't.
Yeah, Shino Hiragi is the guy I met at COE, like a really nice dude. So
Oh.
huge shout outs. What's up if you're watching?
That's the
But yeah, respectful. Yeah, honestly, the same issue with Hungary is, I don't know, it's either top 32 or DNQ, and even though Shinoa is with them, I think this is not gonna be enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. Fun fact about Shinoa, I believe they won a Wooding OU last year, I believe it was in COE, in a lifting competition, in a bench press competition. So yeah, you don't want to mess with them. But yeah.
Okay, wait, all of a sudden I'm putting them number 1. My shit.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be a DQ for me, just because I believe they lack the experience for most of their players.
Yeah, guten Morgen, Shinoa. He's our favorite German player on the Hungary roster. He often turns up on our German rosters because he does speak German, actually, which is really fun. But I don't see them qualifying ever. Like, no.
Ever. Oh, shit.
No, they don't qualify.
Alright.
Bro is praying for their downfall. What the hell?
Yeah,
That's
frankly,
throwing
I
Ramazoff.
agree. Yeah, frankly, I agree. One returning player combined with a bunch of players that I have not heard of. I'm sorry, but I'm
Yeah.
placing you in do not qualify. Please make me wrong.
Yeah, he's probably the best player to return, and he's still not very good. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's move on to our next country, and similar to how we did for the next test country, the next one's gonna be Israel. We're gonna put this one on hold for Frunen. Israel has returning players this time, and I will mention that their captain for the first time in God knows how long in 6WC history is not Frunen. I find that pretty crazy. I'm really excited to see how Danan takes this Israeli roster. As per 6WC tradition, Israel has consistently, seed 33, seed 41 as much as possible. I really want them to go around of 32. Philosopher, what are your thoughts?
Okay, man. Yeah, well, considering some insights from Frunen, I'm actually gonna put them in top 32.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right, man.
Yes, sir. We're doing that. Yeah. Also, just because of the fact that Frunen and Danon played in the festival events, like Backstab Bootcamp was one of them. Frunen got into a top 2 team of Backstab Bootcamp, which is quite of a crazy achievement. So yeah, I really hope Israel is very united mentally and they have the team spirit. So I think it will be enough for them.
Yep. The next year?
Yeah, sorry, I got the DM about some funny qualifier scores. Okay, so I think this is the year you guys are going to qualify.
Okay.
I believe, bro. I fucking believe. You have done and you've thrown, and that's all you need. Just do it, bro. I also, due to my nationality, cannot feasibly say anything bad about Israel or I'm getting cancelled. So, yeah, you guys are gonna qualify. I believe. Go.
Thank you. You got the pass. You're fine.
Throne, what about you, bro?
So, I hate to do this, but I don't think Israel qualifies. Frunen, if you guys qual, I will gift 1 month of supporter. Alright.
Oh, wait,
I don't think
supporter.
Israel
That's dope.
Yeah, 1 month of
Oh,
support if you guys qual.
Okay.
Right, that's fair.
Okay. For what it's worth, minor league dream. Even if they DNQ, minor league dream. I believe it. But okay,
So
Frunen,
true.
now it's your time. Take the mic. What are your thoughts?
All right. Firstly, why am I not captain? Because I do not have time. I practiced a lot less for this tournament. However, one thing that I do want to say about our team is we have a lot of firepower, and also we didn't have one of our better players playing qualifiers. So let's talk a little bit. We had our first national 6-digit tournament right before 6WC started. We did. I think all of the players that we have on our team did very well, which is why they got chosen. The Nan and I believe it was Suki. Suki was Hot Rock player too. Beat me. I did not get first place in that tournament.
Damn,
I did not get second place in that tournament.
Damn, wash.
So, yeah,
Dry
I definitely think that we do have the players and potential. The Nan has definitely done very, very well. And all of the players that you see are going to see some very hidden performance. I believe we can we had our quals lobby just before this. So, seeing how we performed, I think we have a chance at qualifying. I'm going to put us round of 32. And who knows what's going to happen after that.
Okay. I think just for good measure, we're going to put them round of 32. Come on. Like, just
Sounds
for
good.
the belief. Just for the
Sounds
belief.
good, man.
Just for the belief. We got it.
We
But we're
believe,
gonna
we
have,
believe.
but with that, we are gonna fill up our round of 32 slots, so we're gonna have to do some moving around sooner or later. Let's move on to our next country, and it is going to be Italy. Now, Italy has always been a interesting country. We don't talk about what happened in 6WC2, but I think this year is definitely one of the most doomerage years for Italy. They don't have a full roster. For that reason, I don't know any of their players. Thing is, and they don't have a full roster. I honestly can't see this going anywhere but DNQ.
No, I have to agree. Like last year, we played against them, and it looked like they formed a really good community. But now, just looking at the new lineup, you understand that all the players are new. Like there are no old ones, and I think not even like skill, but the team synergy is quite low. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with D and Q just as Gamili.
Yeah, it's going to be the same for me. I definitely think they have some solid players, but I don't think it's going to be enough to qualify for this tournament.
Yeah, right. Pretty much the same idea here. I think they did have 9 players before screening, and then they got 2
Oh,
of their
no.
players star screened and ended up with a team with less than 8 players after
No
replacing
Royale
their screen players.
incident.
Yeah,
No
star
way.
screening came in clutch, screened 2
Man.
of them. Yeah, but that is going to lead them to not qualify here, I do believe. They had their multi-account screened, so 07 to them.
Frankly,
Good
I agree
riddance.
with the rest of the panel. I don't think Italy qualifies, especially without a 8-man roster. I just don't see how it's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. Let's move very quickly along to our next country. It's going to be Kazakhstan now. This player has one standout player, one of our playoffs ticket holders. It is going to be Arongs. For that reason, I honestly think Kazakhstan gets out of DNQ just by nature of Arongs. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with the rest of their lineup. I think Philoxen can tell you more. I do know Swardy here and there, but I think top 24 is the lowest. No, top 32 is the lowest they go for me. What are your thoughts, Philoxen?
I would put them higher, and here is why. Yeah, the thing is, all of those players, at least most of them, like 7 or 6 out of them, they have participated in country-based tournaments like 6EC, 6WC, and those mostly are from your minor league rosters, and now they improved and got to the major team. But there is one particular guy that I think you have missed out or just didn't have info about, and this is top 4 guy. The thing about this man is that in 6EC 2024, almost 2 years ago, they were probably the strongest Kazakh player, but unfortunately couldn't participate in the main tournament itself. But they played in those Battle Royale events, pre-tourney events that 6EC had, and they actually got really really high in the placement, and they were like a crazy all-rounder player with tapping, aim, and all that stuff. They got second in my lobby, but that I played, and put up a really great fight. So now I think that they came back from the army, if I remember correctly. They are ready to show why they are worth of qualifying, and in my opinion, going to the top 24 alongside Arangs, who is one of the strongest tournament players in 6 digits so far.
Yeah, I'm sort of over like a similar vibe. I would put them at top 24 just because I believe I'm looking at the sort of teams that we put at top 32, which are teams that have like 1 or 2 players that are current potential, and then the rest aren't really up to par. When it comes to Kazakhstan, they do have more players that have experience and are able to perform. So just for that, I believe I will put them above those teams and put them in top 24.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drop something very controversial. I do think that Aaron is an insane player, and I do think that his support isn't all that terrible, and I do see them actually making top 16 potentially. It's gonna be quite tough for them. I think a lot of the other teams that are around top 24 are gonna be big stones in their wake. I can see them make it though. I can see them make it. I think Aaron is just that good. And these other players are not to be underestimated that much. I'm more than happy to put them in top 24. Personally, I do think they make top 16 though.
Wait, can I just like add real quick? I forgot I had to remove someone from top 24, so I'm just gonna put Kazakhstan in top 16 because there's too much of thinking.
Great. I'm glad you agree with me. I'm glad.
Yeah, and no, and the thing is like for me, like in my ranking, I believe the teams in top 24 are weaker than Kazakhstan potentially. But yeah, Throne, you can
agree.
anything.
Yeah, so I think I've spoken to some of the other US coordinators, and we because I had no idea what to think about Kazakhstan, and we all agreed that they should go in top 16. And frankly, if you look at what their country as a whole has been doing at all levels, they've been getting better and better. So I think there is potential for them in coming years to be just really strong country.
Okay. So, I mean, would it be right to say that this is one of those countries that could potentially be a dark horse country? And I'd say top 16 is definitely a interesting but possible place to put this country. So yeah, I think I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how I had high hopes for Kazakhstan last year, so I really hope they come into their own this year. But let's move on to our next roster. I cannot comment about this roster because I've gotten threats about it, but it's gonna be Latvia. Philoxen, take the
Oh
mic
my
from
God.
me. Take the mic from me.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was Snappy the one who who got
Yep,
that? Oh
yep.
my God, he made those. All right. So yeah, I'm really happy to see Snappy. He's a great commentator and a great player. Yeah, stepping in for Team Latvia once again, alongside some of the old players, such as the Fatman and Peppy Boy. Really nice to see them. Though I don't really know about the new players because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen them anywhere. And don't get me wrong, like I've been paying attention to like the new 6-digit tournaments, but still nothing. But the thing I noticed is that I have one more slot in top 32, so I'm gonna put them there. I'm gonna be praying for them.
Well, I also have one slot in top 32, but I'm not going to be putting them there because I do not think
Oh,
that I do not think that they have the players required to do this. They do have some experience. They do have some of these like potentially good players, but I just don't see them having enough. Even the players that are returning that I've played before, I don't see them really being at the level required. So for me, I'm going to put them at DNQ.
Yeah, I see that very similarly. Snappy is alright, he's not bad, but I don't think that the roster itself is good enough to actually qualify. They might qualify. It's gonna be really close, I think, but there is a good chance they don't, and that's why I'm gonna put them in DNQ for now.
Yeah, I agree with the rest of the panel. DNQ is where Latvia, I think, is gonna end up. I think they could do something in minor league, but certainly in major league, I don't think they're gonna do very much, if anything at all.
yeah, I think the general consensus from the panel. I'm sorry, guys. It wasn't me. The rest of them spoke. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a DNQ. But last year we called them DNQ and they got C39. So perhaps we are spoiling C31 for you guys right now. Let's move on to our next roster at hand, and it is going to be Team Lithuania, baby. Oh my goodness, this is probably one of my favorite, up and coming countries in the 6-digit scene. They made their first ever roster last year with Codonelis, and they're back. They have a full roster this time, and although I don't really see them going very far, Codonelis has been making very big improvements, not to mention Lithuania himself. Like, the country of Lithuania himself is definitely a solid player. If I had to put them somewhere, I don't know if this is round of 32 material. I don't know if this is course material. So I'm going to be safe and put it in DNQ. But I don't know. I can change my mind. Philoxen, what about you?
All right. So first of all, guys, go check out Team Lithuania roster reveal that we uploaded to our roster reveal channel in 6WC. It's kind of funny. But yeah, speaking of the player base, I'm really excited to see Colden Ellis play alongside Bad Apple because those two, they participated in Backstab Bootcamp. Bad Apple even got the second place there, I believe. And then Colden Ellis actually got 5th placement in our last chance qualifiers for the Epic Theater. So almost making it to the Epic Theater itself, but unfortunately being slightly not enough. But still, I think Colonels is a great powerhouse. So I'm looking forward to seeing their performance. But I would put them in top 32. Honestly, maybe I'm biased, but just speaking of what I saw in the festival events, I think they will do a bit better than Thailand, in my opinion.
Well, I am on that path as well. I do think they are going to qualify. I would say they also have this sort of archetype of one clearly very strong player, as well as supporting players around them. I do think about Lithuania, from what I've seen, the supporting players do vary in skill sets, which is something that is very, very good. So you have your hard rock player, you have your DT player, you have your aim player. So I have faith for Lithuania to get top 32 here.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I love Lithuania.
Yo,
I love
Yeah.
Lithuania.
I love Lithuania.
God
It's-
damn.
those guys are just
Guys,
amazing.
pretty
I
nice
had the pleasure of playing with them for quite a while during one of the pre-tournament events. Great dudes. Colton Ellis is really, really good. Bad Apple is also very good. They have a few more quite decent players, and I can actually see them making it further than round of 32. I personally put them in top 24.
Okay, whoa.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's gonna be between Lithuania and Thailand for getting seed 32 specifically. So I don't think Lithuania's gonna qualify, but I mean I'm probably wrong here.
Yeah. I know Mirage is crashing out over not
Yes.
having enough space. But I think we can actually take away South Korea. I just got word during the showcase that they will not be participating this year.
Oh, really?
So I think we can. Sadly, we can strip
No.
South Korea away.
No.
So I mean
Okay,
that
then.
makes our life easier and it prolongs us having to actually make a meaningful discussion for now. Let's move on to our next country that we have, and it is going to be Luxembourg. This is a interesting country to see in the 6WC scene. But I think this is one of those cases where very happy to see them here, but I
Oh my
don't
God,
really see a call. I don't see a
Oh,
call.
oh.
I think we can skim through this as
Right.
well.
Yeah, I think we can skip through this. Like, I think them making a team on itself is a crazy, is a really important achievement. So good for them. But with all the respect, it's gonna be DNQ for me as well.
Yeah, they got like half
Anything-
of their population in their team. It's pretty impressive.
Whoa. Yeah, anything else to add from the panel? If
Yes,
not, I think we can
yes,
just-
yes.
Oh, go for it, bro. Go
You
for it.
guys are sleeping on Maltz. Maltz is a really, really good player.
I know Maltz.
Last year I
know.
mentored him during his first tournaments, and he is improving at an insane rate. He is really good already, and I think if he continues to do so, he will actually be one of the best. Very soon. I don't know if he's good enough now, but I can see it. They might qualify. I don't think so, though. They are probably DNQing here. I don't think that the roster itself is good enough. But Maltz is someone to look out for.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
anything to add?
Yeah, bang off of what Linuxia said. Sure, Moltz may be good, but it's gonna be another Giggle 69 situation, in my opinion, where they just don't have the roster to back up Moltz, especially with a 5-man roster we have in this case. So unfortunately, thank you Luxembourg for making a team, but I don't think they're gonna qualify.
Yeah, all right. The next country that we have is the Netherlands. Now, the Netherlands, this is the first
Oh, God.
ever 6WC roster, I believe,
So doomed.
where we don't have Death by Darwin.
Oh no.
07.
Absolutely shocker. Let's take a second. 07's to our fallen brother. Yeah, I love Death by Darwin. I knew it
Rip.
from when I first started playing tournaments, but I digress. This Dutch roster. Sorry, I had to take some time. It's really, I don't really know anything about it. I'm gonna be very clear. I don't know anything about it. Philoxen, what about you?
No, the thing I know is Eli Uchiha and Skjot. They were really really prominent players in 6WC2025. I believe getting around like top 30 individual placement in quals or something. At least Eli Uchiha did. I believe they were the carry, but I'm not sure about all the others. I don't think this is gonna be enough, unfortunately.
Oh, you DNQ. Okay.
Oh wait, no, hold up.
I
Not
mean,
enough-
I'd put them in DNQ, honestly.
You would put them at DNQ?
Bruno, what about you?
I'm gonna put them at DQ. I think they have some players that have played some tournaments. You have your Taiko player, but I just don't think it's enough to qualify. I just don't think they have enough to be able to go on to round of 32.
Yeah, it's gonna be really close. I think that around the cutoff, there's gonna be a lot of teams really close to each other at those lower seeds. Around seed 28 to seed 40, there's not gonna be a lot of room, and I think there's potential for upsets there. I can see them being one of these upsets. That said, they lost all their good players. Prince of Hell was insanely good. Athanatos was really good. Death by Darwin obviously was pretty decent. Losing all of those is a very big hit, and they are basically left with no prominent players at all. They all have some tournament experience, but that's about it. They definitely need to probably grind a bit more to maybe come back next year and, you know, carry on the legacy that was left behind for them by the previous generation of players from Netherlands. They might qualify. I don't think so. It's possible. I personally set them as qualifying. I really want them to qualify. But yeah, it's fine if we DNQ them.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm here with you. I put them at top 32 as well, and I'm sorry, Team
Yo.
Latvia. I had to move you to DNQ. I'm ready to receive those death threats. So yeah.
Throne,
anyway, Throne,
you're the
yeah.
decider.
Yeah.
You're the decider.
I'm this decider. All right.
I believe so.
I think they're gonna be right around the Latvia Thailand range, where they're gonna I think they just barely make the cut. I think they're gonna be seed 31, coming in Netherlands. That's my
Hard
prediction.
Hard seed prediction is wild.
Yeah. But anyways, moving on to our next roster. Now we're starting to get into the more interesting countries. We're gonna kickstart it with Norway. Norway, I believe, having a few returning players this year as well. Of course, we cannot understate the GOATs in Mr. Wong and Andy26, I think, from the both very, very well-known players from the Norwegian roster. And this year, they actually have a fully fledged roster, unlike last year. I definitely think that their placement in this year will be higher than last year, and they already did a pretty good job last year. Of course, they did lose their hard hitter and Super Jäger, so maybe not that high, but I think round of 32 is the lowest they can go.
Yeah, right. Supyagan unfortunately didn't decay in time, but now we have a different carry, which is Mr. Wong. And just speaking of the experience of commentating his matches, this guy improved a lot. Not only in terms of consistency, even though they were pretty consistent, pretty damn well consistent previously, but now on tapping as well. And yeah, it's just like they became an all-rounder, not even on lowest star, but on highest star as well. Of course, all that covered by Andy26's skill sets. Just one of the most consistent 6-digit players. Like when it comes to those no mod 1 type maps, he is the best. He is the one to look out for. Also with Haibane, the player who I believe got like 2nd or 3rd placement in a 1v1 Nordic showdown. Which was a 6-digit tournament. So yeah, those 3 are really consistent. And also getting Zuna Koimi as their 4th player from the last year. So I believe this is top 16 for me personally.
Oh, I don't know if it is the same for me. I'll be honest. I look at this roster and I don't really see the same sort of strength that the team like Kazakhstan has that I put in top 24. I don't know. It's tough to say because we do have 2 teams that are very, very strong. 2 players that are very, very strong. I don't know if the players around them are going to be supporting well enough to go as far as they can. I'm thinking, I don't know, either top 24 or top 32. I'm not a believer. I'm gonna put them in top 32. I'm not gonna be a believer.
Yeah, I see it fairly similarly. I don't think that they are anywhere close to where they were last year. They lost Super, they lost B5Y, was also really good, by the way. That said, it is kind of made up by Mr. Wong just completely popping off out of nowhere. He was always alright. He got okay scores, but in the past half a year, he made insane improvement. He went from being an okay player to being a really good player. Not one of the best, but he's good enough to match most players now, which wasn't the case previously. So by that upcoming and by them actually having a full roster this time, and everyone else kind of getting better as well, Haibane especially, Andy is still kind of washed, but hey, come on, it is Andy. He's always gonna do alright. I think they're at least gonna make top 24, which is where I'm gonna place them. I can see them doing more. But I'm just gonna be a little bit realistic. They have a lot of new players, and those have to carry their own weight, and we will see if that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Frunin. I don't really see how this roster can get very far into the tournament, especially with losing the Legend of the Past Super Jaeger.
GOAT.
I think, yeah, the GOAT. I don't think they're gonna get past round of 32 or top 32, I guess.
Yeah, so I think right now most of our predictions hover around sort of top 24, top 32. What are you guys thinking? I think the general consensus is like
Top 24, right?
top
Should be.
24. I think that's a general consensus, yeah. So I think we can put them there, mostly because I want to like try to avoid having to reshuffle stuff right now. But copium aside, let's move on to our next country. And I believe this next country is going to be Poland. Look,
Okay.
I would do a quick intro on this team, but I would not do it justice. Philoxen, take it away.
so
I'm gonna
look at
continue
it.
eating my ice cream.
All right, man. Enjoy your food, but now you finally get to one of the strongest teams in 6WC. What just happened? Yeah. Anyway, this is probably the first team ever. Yeah, like before, like among all of the ones that we already went through, this is the only one that has all of its 8 players having tournament experience. Like, there are no newbies. Like, all of them came from either 6EC or 6WC 2024 or even 6WC 2023, where they got the second placement, such as Xabi and Itness, one of the most experienced 6WC tournament players, and Xabi as such a brilliant captain. So, at least, yeah, at first they have all of that covered. The captain skills, the community that Poland has is also very much united. They have even the old players from 6WC 2024, Quenty and Tianling. Yeah, those two they have improved a lot. We could see Quenty winning 6EC 2025 alongside Kurtuba properly. Yeah, then we have Cuba, who was the minor league 6EC carry of 2025. They got the second place right behind Russia. Cuba probably was the MVP of minor league, or maybe behind Artisan, but that's besides the point. Cuba has improved a lot. Tried of getting the invitation to the Epic Theater, but wasn't enough a bit. But I think even though they lost Philomaster, they lost Ulqui, I don't think this is a problem for them at all, because they have a crazy strong substitutions. And even the players that I didn't talk about, most of them, I think all of them, are stronger than the carries of some of the top 24 or top 23 teams. So for me, it's top 4, because I think they will be able to rival Philippines, but when it comes to skill cap, I still think it's going to be really tough for them.
Yeah, I'm on the same sort of vibe. I think when we're looking at the quality of the players we're in that are there, you have some of the strongest players in this tournament. You have some players that are returning that were the strongest players of their previous versions of this tournament. I think there is no doubt for me this is going to be a top 4 team purely of this absolutely stacked roster. Very experienced roster that can definitely get far in this tournament.
Yeah, and we always have to remember that this isn't even the strongest version of Poland that we could have seen. Modems didn't sign up, I believe, and Philomaster also didn't. Well, he we move on. Both of them could have been here, but are not. And I think if they had been here, this roster would have been even stronger. And I think we are looking at second place right now. So maybe rivaled by one other team, but I think it's probably gonna end up being second place. So I'm gonna place this one in top 4. It's a really, really strong roster. They still have all their momentum from last year, from 6EC, and I think they're just gonna keep on rolling.
Yeah, frankly, I don't disagree. I think Poland is certainly a top 4 contender. I don't quite think they're the number 2 team Lunexia, but definitely agree that Kasabe, Kritaba, Kenti, Tianling, and Itness alone can easily those five players can easily be top 24, top 16 in my opinion. I think they can make top 4.
I think the most dangerous part of this roster is gonna be when the high SR starts to hit. I think a lot of these players are very strong in the low to mid range SR. I think this is the best team at low SR in fact. But when it starts to scale, really you only have like Tianling who's super well known for his high SR. So with how SR scaling is done during this World Cup, it will be rough, I think, going into later rounds as Team Poland. And I definitely agree with Throne in the sense that I do not necessarily think that they're number 2, but there are definitely, I think, quite a few teams that can contend with them at that SR. So it's really going to come down to their team strategy, I believe. But I think for now, it's unanimous top 4 for Team Poland. I don't think they go any lower, on paper. But yeah, let's move on to our next country, and it's going to be Romania. Glad to see Romania back here again, with this time with a full roster with V Winter, the resident 300k D ranker, still in 6 digits, still in the lobby, and this time as the captain. Philoxen, take it away.
Right. We Winter, we know him, participated a lot in 6EC pre-tourney events, and yeah, got a lot of experience, made his team qualify for 6EC 2025. But even though I think they have a full roster, I don't think it's gonna be enough. Just with all the respect, I'm gonna put them in DNQ, or maybe like later I will maybe just like switch someone from round of 32 with them.
Yeah, if for me it's gonna be DNQ. I do have a lot of faith in V Winter. They've definitely been improving a lot recently, but I just don't think they have enough players around them to make this work.
Yeah, I think I can sum this up in 7 words. Full roster, same outcome, does not qualify.
I agree. I don't think Romania is going to qualify, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just like there's not a lot of experience. I think they have V Winter, but even V Winter, I don't think is not on the same level as like carriness that Arongs puts into the Kazakhstan roster. But let's move on to another very interesting country. I told you this section would be interesting. It is going to be the C2 of last year's iteration and multi-account heaven. It's gonna be Team Russia. I'm gonna put a pin for Philoxen, because I'm sure he has a lot to say about this one. This is a complete swap over in the Russian roster, and Russia through and through has been known as one of the countries with the most signups, with one of the most elaborate tryout processes, on par with Brazil and the USA. This roster is demonical. They have arguably one of the best mechanics players, hell, all-rounders in Tori Depon. They have Artosun, the carry in 6EC Minor League. Absolute Dark, the highest performing player in the last chance qualifiers for playoffs. And Sosadov as well, a very long-standing player. I believe I played with him all the way back in CBT3. Very old player as well, a lot of experience going into it. And I personally think that this team hits top 8 bottom. I think this is a top 4 contender.
Yeah, I quite disagree. I think this is top 4 at least, but on paper though, because well, remembering just like how unlucky Russia was, if we go all the way back to 6EC 2024, they got seed 2, but they got eliminated in finals. Then
By me!
In 6EC? Yo, that's crazy.
Oh wait, no, my bad.
Yeah, then in 6WC 2024, they got another seed 2, but they got eliminated by Singapore and Canada, which is very unfortunate. After that,
bracket.
Yeah, man, after that, they even improved their lineup somehow, because, well, getting a stronger team than Topex Flat and 25i is really, yeah, it's really difficult. But even then, in 6EC 2025, they got seed 1, but because of the multi-account incident, they got disqualified. It's always that they're doing extremely well on quals, but they troll like all the time in bracket, or just because they're doing their things. So this year, the situation is quite the same. This roster is super strong. We have Satoru Dupont, the notorious D ranker, won a lot of tournaments or got a lot of podium placements, played in the Epic Theater as a tier 2. You have Artesam, the carry of minor league of 6WC2025, the best player of minor league, I would even say. Yamisaki and Nality, Sosadov, they all played in 6EC, and even before that, they were very active in the scene. Absolute Dark, Gamili already mentioned, the strongest tier 4 player of the Epic Theater. And then, to top it all off, you have Whiskas, the player who I believe won CBT2 or something. Like, this guy...
No, CBT2 was me.
Oh, shit. My bad, guy. Ignore the cat. Anyway. Anyway. I needed to hold something to like get
Okay.
to not get nervous, right, chat?
Go on.
But yeah, Whiskas is probably the oldest tournament player that Russia has. Super experienced, all that control stuff that he plays, he does it with perfection. But yeah, as mentioned on paper, this is a roster. Bro, wait! I'm losing all aura. I'm not even doing any donation goals. I'm already losing it. Anyway, the voice crack. Right, this is the only team I think, maybe besides the US, but we will talk about them later, that can win against Philippines. So I'm putting them at least in top 4. All right, I'm finally done. Frunen, you can take the mic.
All right. Yeah, a lot of yapping there. All right. So Russia, definitely like a team that I'm looking has a mix of older and newer players. I would say Sosedev and Whiskas are both players that I've played in a while. Sosedev back in the SST2. Like we are talking back. Both of them players that are a bit older. I have definitely seen all of the players that we are talking about today. Satoru Dupont especially. I've teamed with them. Absolute Dark, I would say one of the better players I've seen that have remained throughout the 6-digit scene. I would say this definitely is a top 4 team. Unless something bad happens, I definitely can see them going very, very far.
Yeah, if they're all legit, which could be possible, I can see them making top 3. Yeah, I think we're looking at top 3 right here.
Interesting. Interesting. So I actually struggled with putting them between top 16 and top 8.
Ooh.
And the reason for that is because like they always seed high, but look at what they do after they seed. In 6WC24, they got seed 2, and then they went. Did they win a match?
No, they got
bracket
dogged
last
on by
year?
Singapore and then Canada because of the
That's
bracket.
what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But even put like even having a hard bracket like that, you still it's kind of, if they're being seed 2, they still should have at least won one of those matches, right? And then you look at what they did in 6EC 2025. They got seed 1, sure, but then they fell flat on their face and got 5th and 6th. So I don't understand why placing them in top 4 is really a safe pick when, at least as of recently, they're not performing to the level that they're supposed to be, I guess is what I'm saying. So top 8 is where I'm putting them.
Yeah, okay. I think top 8 is a safe bet for me as well. I definitely think that seeding wise, Russia has potential to be like seed 2, seed 3. But if you ask me where I think they'll end up in bracket, yeah, I would agree with Mr. Throne here. I would say top 8 is where I'm putting them. But yeah, that is a long line of descriptions for Russia. We really love Russia. But let's move on to our next country, their close neighbor in Slovenia. This is their first roster for 6WC, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean,
Let's go.
Yeah, similar to the last one, it's similar to Luxembourg. I think we can just blitz through this very quickly, unless anybody has anything they want to say.
No.
Yeah, I think this is an easy DNQ from all of us, unfortunately. But huge shout outs to Slovenia for making their roster. I believe they had one of their players taken up by screening, which is pretty funny. But yeah, huge shout outs. We hope to see you again next year. But yeah, let's move on to our next country. We're really flash flooding everything, and it's gonna be South Africa. South Africa sees the return of Nemesis, both as their tryout host and captain. But we lost Daddy with milk. Oh shit. But on the flip side, there really isn't anything else for me to say about this roster. 5-man roster is just another one of like, it's very easy to take advantage and get hit by a lot of skill sets, especially given the difficulty of quals. I think this is an easy DNQ for me. Anyone else? Any objections?
No.
Nah, I'm just sad seeing Daddy with milk leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy they have another roster. Like, South Africa is one of those countries. They have some regional tournaments, but usually not 6-digit. There's barely any competitive 6-digit players from South Africa. Have you ever seen a South African player be in a tournament, right? So I'm really happy to see a team. Good luck in minor league.
All right. Let's move on to our next country, and it is going to be Spain. Spain is really one of those countries that throughout the years, right, has sort of been there, but they've sort of kind of not been there. Sort of similar to Malaysia, I would say. And I don't think this year is any different. They lost a lot of hard hitters like Dark Michigan, Eric Kelio, and Pinwee. And, you know, with Mikensai being the only returning player from that roster, I really don't see this roster doing very well. This is a DNQ for me. Philoxen?
Right, so in terms of scaling, I would say they're a bit weaker than Belarus, and since I have Belarus in top 32, I'm gonna put them in DNQ as well. Because, well, the thing is, even though the previous placements in both WC and EC were decent, the fact that they lost a lot of players like Pinvi and Erikilo from 6WC2024, later they managed to actually recover, and they got Pelagambas, Cannabis Power, who is playing, who is present, and they also got Kurla, but I I just very much love this nickname. But yeah, anyway, they lost even like the remaining strong players after 6CC, which allowed them to get top 9 from top 9 to top 12. So it's just DNQ for me as well.
Yeah, I'm on sort of like a similar thing. Yeah, I don't really see them having enough, enough experience, enough players that are in the skill needed. So I'm gonna put them in DNQ.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see all of the strong players from last year go. If they had Eric here right now, that would be shelling. And easily qualify Pinwee as well. I don't know if you know, Eric Hero, right after 6WC, Eric Hero completely popped off. He's insane now. That said, they still have some talent. Cannabis Power is really good. And some of these other players are also not terrible. I can see them qualify, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be one of those just barely qualifying moments if they do. I'm gonna put them as qualifying myself. But yeah, it's one of those teams where it's tough to tell.
Wait, sorry, I'm blind. I didn't see Curly is present, like Curly is the carry. I'm putting them at top 32.
Oh.
Anyway, you can keep... I did my research that...
Wrap it up. Once again, make the call,
Round of 32 is where I'm putting Spain. I think they're going to be right around where Thailand, Netherlands is going to be. So
yeah,
Spain is where they're at.
I agree.
Would you say that this is DNQ, or do we need to start reshuffling people? Do you think? I think, like Spain beats out the likes of Malaysia. I think that's the one that I'm looking most at. I think honestly,
I think
Spain
so.
and Malaysia are very close. I think we could replace Spain with Malaysia.
I think it's Bulgaria that needs to move down.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
Let's move
I think we have opportunity to do that later anyway, so don't worry.
Okay.
There's another team that we definitely end up qualifying that you might not have on your radar right now.
Okay. Let's move on to our next roster, and this one is going to be Sweden. One more from a big roster, but unfortunately this year Sweden's already narrow roster from 2024 has become even smaller in 2025, and it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. I don't see this team qualifying. Similar to how all the smaller team sizes have been. Glad to see them here, but I don't think so. Anyone else has any objections?
Nope.
No, 5-man roster. I don't think they can make it.
Yeah.
Like, they have decent players. Solmos is good. Cool Penguin is alright, but it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah. Okay. with that said, this next country is a very, very interesting one because it is our dear streamer Mirage Fire's home country. We'll put a pin in that for once all of us from the panel are done talking. But I think this roster is actually pretty underrated. I mean, it could be my bias from Mirage, but I think it's possible. I think this is one of those countries that Mr. Throne mentioned, right? It's sort of around that Thailand gray area where they could qualify. Philosopher, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. Salmon, Sorday, Natsuko Sama, Dotpyx, and RoboFreak as well. I believe all of those, like, they played in Newcomers World Cup as well. So at least when it comes to team synergy, they have it like at a really strong state. Maybe individually they're not as strong, but I think this is gonna be more than enough to qualify. It's either top 24 or top 32 for me, but think top 32 is more. Yeah, I think it's more pragmatic.
Yes.
I guess.
All right.
I will say I do recognize one name, which is Gasai, which is a really old player. Played in PDN, passed the on. If there's anyone that even remembers that tournament, it was
That is so long ago. Holy shit.
Yes. So I would say one of the things that I will say about this team, that it seems that most of them, if not all of them, have some sort of experience, if not long-term experience, which is sort of what you're looking for in a team that is looking to qualify. So yeah, I agree. I definitely look at this team and I think they will qualify. I don't really have room on top 32, but I would say this is about where I would put them.
Yeah, I'm rubbing my hands right now because I'm about to pop off. Guys, you are... If anybody of you says these guys are not qualifying, you're wrong. They 100% qualify.
Yeah.
Because all of them have tournament experience. All of them have been playing a few tournaments to a lot of tournaments. I don't know why Natsuko-sama is the captain. That's actually really funny. I think that's the only French-speaking one of them. No implications, of course. Anyway, Seven Sorter is really good. All of the new players that you know nothing about are newcomer World Cup players, so they have been grinding as well. And then there is this one star player, Vapsme. I don't know if you know Vapsme. Vapsme is insane, and I mean that. I have teamed up with Vapsme a few times before, and he is an absolute giga-shot. This guy can FC in qualifiers. He has an insanely high skill cap. He is gonna do just fine on finals in this tournament as well. I don't know about grand finals, that might be out of his reach, but he is gonna scale like crazy, and especially in low SR, he's gonna FC every single map. And I think in qualifiers as well, he's gonna do just fine. I think they definitely qualify. They might even make top 24. I can actually see it. I'm gonna put them at 32 for now, but I can see them do it. And
No,
I'm a big believer.
I put them at 24. That's it.
I put them at 24 as well.
Yeah. You just had to hear the name.
I forgot, bro. I completely forgot.
Vapsme is insane.
No, I played against this guy in map, and they got third place.
He was on my team.
He's really
he
good.
was on my team.
I know he was.
All right, Throne. Let's hear what you have.
I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't think Switzerland qualifies.
Bro.
They're right in the Thailand region.
Bro.
They don't qualify. They're gonna barely miss out.
Somebody has to be the villain. Okay.
Exactly.
Of course, it's the freaking USA MF. Oh my god. I can't.
What? Hey, man.
But just put aside, I think Mirage Fire would like to say a few words about this roster. What do you have, Mirage?
Alright, I finally also get the time to speak. Hello chat, hello, I'm still here. I'm really happy to see that all of the commentators here actually support Switzerland. Throne, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Oh.
But jokes aside, Vapsme and Dotpyrox are former 5 digits that have DK just in time for 6WC. They're a really strong player, as mentioned already. Vapsme has actually, like, I think a couple plat ETX ratings. Very strong, highly, like, most likely the carry player for Team Switzerland. Like, I Hate This Map was a couple iterations ago. A very familiar name, I think. Seven Swarda actually won one of the festival events. He teamed along with Zavi in... I think it was...
Cuba, I think.
think it was Prepare for the Ascent. Like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
he
The
won-
last one. The last
Yeah, he won that one, and he was not a bench warmer. He actually played a lot of maps, and did pretty well. So definitely Seven Sworda and Vasmi players to look out for, and Dot Pyox, former 5-digit as well. Pretty good in Hard Rock, so I think they're pretty well rounded. It does seem like a new fresh blood overall for 6WC stage, but yeah, they all have tournament experience. I hope they make it far, but yeah.
I really
Yeah,
do think
I-
they're up for the challenge. Yeah.
Okay. I think
Okay.
right now we kind of have Switzerland, I believe, in sort of top 32. So I think we can throw them in top 32. And I guess now is a good time to bump Bulgaria down, right? While we're Bulgaria or Malaysia down.
Wait, don't
Actually-
we have it? Don't we have it at top 24?
Oh wait,
Because-
should we put it in
I
top
think we
32?
do. I think
Well,
we
okay,
do.
I'll move mine up. I'll move them to qual
Okay.
because of South Korea not playing, so I'll move Switzerland. up.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
24, I guess.
Yeah, I think we can. I think it's good to put them
Okay.
at 24. I really worry for their ISR, but I think that it is doable. I'm a believer in Switzerland. No bias whatsoever.
Yay!
Let's move on to the next
Yeah.
country. It's going to be Turkey. I think someone in chat has been waiting for Turkey. And here we have it. This time, Turkey fills up their full roster with one returning player. It's going to be Tyler Trayman TR13. But other than that, I'm not too familiar with most of these players. Philopson, what about you?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I knew something about the previous ones. I knew Full Ultra was like a decent player. I believe also
Ultra,
saw them in 6EC, but now that they don't even have them, I think full roster will not help them, with all the respect, and I'm gonna go with DNQ. Ferdinand?
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength. I don't really see
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
The chat is exploding.
The chat is exploding? Oh, hell no.
Oh hell no.
Wait, they
Yeah.
got the Ukrainians supporting the copy pasta. What the hell? Okay.
Anyways, so next year, Throne, any
Teamed up.
objections from both of you?
They teamed up.
Well, it's a tough one. They could qualify. They might not. TRM, I don't know, man. That name is tough. Yeah, he's fine. I don't know any of the other guys. Probably not qualifying though.
Yeah, I agree with Lunexia. I don't really think they're going to qualify, unfortunately. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's
Okay.
move on. Let's move along to our second to last country from this time zone, and it's gonna be Ukraine. So Philoxon, I'm gonna put you as the last speaker for this one.
Okay.
I'm sure you have much to say. But this team Ukraine has some pretty hard hitters. Wannabe Ritsu coming in from the, I believe, the 6EC roster. Philoxenia is Philoxenia. Surge coming in from the 2024 roster as well. A very, very strong hard rock player. Alongside Sasing, if I'm not mistaken, Sasing in 6EC. Other than that, I'm not really familiar with the rest of the players, and for that reason, I sort of fear that this roster might suffer from some skill set diversity issues. I'm sure Philoxen can tell us a bit more about that later on, but for what it's worth, I think Frunan, I mean, what are your thoughts on this roster? Me personally, I don't think it goes. I think it's like it doesn't go below top 32. I honestly think top 24 is doable.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength. I think they are very close to top 16 for me, but it is just those you have a couple of returning players that are sort of returning players, and I don't really see them having the skill set diversity needed, as well as the skill cap, in order to go further than top 24. So for me, even though they have one of the better players in the tournament and in 6 Division in general, I'm gonna put them in top 24, but they could get top 16.
Right. I am actually completely scared stiff by these guys. These guys are insane. Philoxenia obviously does not need an introduction. Top 5 player of the entire tournament. Sas is really good. Ritsu is really good. Sasing is really good. I haven't really hit off the other guys, but I'm sure they can't be that bad if they're on the Ukraine roster. I'm personally setting them in top 8.
Oh wow! Okay, I moved mine.
I
up
am
to top
pretty
6.
confident they're really good here.
Yeah,
I
what
think they're
about you,
gonna pop
Throne?
off.
I'm actually splitting the difference here. I'm going top 16 with Ukraine.
Okay.
I mean, it's Ukraine. We're not gonna talk about what happened in group stage last year. Sorry, Philoxen.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
All right, all right.
I think they
Okay.
can definitely go higher though. They certainly have top 8 potential.
Okay.
Ukraine going top 16
Philoxen,
for me.
take the mic, dude. This is your time.
All right. So there is one fact about Ukraine, and it's that
Oh shit.
it's it's literally the most stable country throughout all the 6WCs and 6ECs, because in 6WC 2023 they got top 7, top 8. Then in 6WC 24 they got top 7, top 8. Then
Knock out by
in
me.
6EC 2024 they got first place. In 6EC 2025 they got the second place. So you can tell that even though rosters change a lot, they are still very strong. And just considering how like strong the players are, just Philoxenia like on his own as the strongest 6 digit of Europe, I think this like putting them at top 16 and saying that they are on the same level as, for example, Vietnam, I think it's an understatement. Because I would put them, yeah, as well as Alexia at top 8, not higher, because yeah, potentially like all the other teams that we have so far in top 4 are just way stronger, on paper at least. They have 4 players coming all the way from 6EC 2025. Another fucking voice crack anyway.
Let me go.
I
You-
was
you
trying
mentioned it.
to get serious, but it didn't go as planned. Anyway, with Philoxenia and Serge, the strongest carries of Team Ukraine, and Ritsu as a captain, the guy who FC'd a couple of DT2, DT3 maps in grand finals of 6EC, alongside Seising, who improved a lot, because this guy has been playing tournaments all the way from 2023 and unfortunately didn't do good enough to get in the rosters, but now he has improved, and he I would say he was the second to best reading player in 6EC after Dragonfire. So even though those 4 players that we have are not tourney experienced at all, I would say the first 4 is just more than enough to get top 8.
Yeah, I mean, I think top 8 is a pretty good place to put Team Ukraine. I definitely underestimated them, I think. And looking at it a bit more and comparing it to what we are seeing from especially Team Germany, definitely I think top 8 is doable for Team Ukraine. Let's move on to our last country from this time zone or from Europe. It's going to be the United Kingdom, DNQ. DNQ.
Yeah, it's doomed.
Oh,
It's
shit.
doomed.
Yep,
It's actually doomed.
Yep. Goodbye, guys. This roster has sees the return of Bigfoot as the captain, but we do see some big losses, namely in Highway Vortex, who will not be playing this year. Definitely unfortunate to see her go, being one of the main carries of UK last year, seed 8, I believe. And last year, the UK was sort of that gateway country from like the higher half of the bracket from the rest of the entire tournament. I don't know if we're gonna see it. I don't know if we're gonna see the same thing this year, but for what it's worth, the UK did pretty damn good in 6EC. C2, but of course that comes with the caveat of losing Dragonfire, of course. And as well as we're seeing a lot of those players from that roster, so hopefully they manage to come to their own. And of course, you cannot talk about UK without talking about, of course, the elephant in the room, which is ex-Fop Doodle. We all love Fop Doodle. Philoxen, take it away.
Yes, sir. I would put them at top 24 at least, but I would say they are way stronger than the most of the teams in top 24. Even though it's a huge downgrade from the previous roster, having Dragonfire, having Highway Vortex, all the core players missing, except for Bigfoot. I still think that Fobdoodle, Bigfoot, and actually the other 6 EC players such as Ghost, Ubutos, Bomite, and Isaac are gonna step in and make the UK at least top 16. So this is what I'm going with. Fernand, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking top 16 as well. They definitely have a lot of very good players. Whether it be older ones like Bigfoot and Fopdoodle, and they have some decent new gens as well with Bombite and me. I do see them coming to top 16 purely off that experience that this entire team, I'm pretty certain, and this entire team has. But I do not see them going further than that. I just see the team that we have up further, whether it be Germany or Ukraine, and I just don't see them being on the same level. So for now, I'm going to put them top 16.
Yeah, I think that's fairly correct. I think the United Kingdom was one of the biggest losers in terms of skill compared to last year. Default, Dragonfire, Xaria, Flaming Galaxy, Highway Vortex, Lauren, they were all cracked. All of them were insanely cracked. Of course, they got Pop Doodle back this year, which is really the only saving grace that really saves them this year. I don't think they're gonna make it much further than top 16, but I think top 16 is still very realistic for them to achieve. I think if they set themselves that as a goal, that's probably a pretty good goal to achieve.
So, I think UK is gonna make top 8. I believe Bigfoot and Fopdoodle are gonna carry the team, and then I just think Bigfoot's just gonna make some good picks in their matches to carry the team to top 8. But I think they're gonna get 3rd and 4th player gapped on the higher SR.
Yeah, you mentioned right, Bigfoot. I think the UK definitely have a very strong captain in Bigfoot. I just like to take some time to shout out, like, I think Bigfoot, phenomenal analyst, and I think with that they might be able to get past some of their shortcomings, be it in the West, be it in higher SR and whatnot. So definitely looking up for Team UK this year. I wouldn't go so far as to say maybe top 8. So I think the general consensus is top 16 for the UK. But yeah, let's move on to the Americas. Final 8 countries left, I believe. And we're going to be starting with a South American country. It's going to be Argentina. So we don't talk about what happened with Argentina last time. Rest in peace, Abure. But this roster is a bit messed up. If you guys don't know, Forward, one of the carries from Team Argentina, has mounted a lot of allegations over the years during that year, beating out countries like Singapore and Canada. So Team Argentina is seeing Forward come back once again is definitely a big scare. Not to mention, Unknown as well, making improvements in their skill throughout the entire year, as well as the return of Jask, or now known as Axel, as the captain. I think they have the experience, and I honestly think they have what it takes to go far. Just how far exactly? Frankly, I think a top 16.
Wait, Gamil, correct me if I'm wrong. Falvat was like the person who probably assessed one of the Noma 2s in previous 6WC, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was that. So
That's right.
Okay, considering they stayed in 6 digits, how much of a crazy carry are they? That's the question that I have. And X Unknown was also a pretty strong, pretty damn strong player from what I saw in the previous year. So, okay, so those two on their self, and we do not know about the other players as much, but they might be really good. So it's at least top 24. I'm not sure if they're as strong as the UK. I think I will need some more time to decide on that, but yeah, for now you can just speak up, guys.
All right, so yeah, I'm sort of a similar vibe. I would say though, for me, it is a more clear top 16. Firstly, when I'm looking at the top 24 and I'm looking at their strong players, I believe that Argentina has the stronger players, the stronger strong players. But But I don't know. I think their supporting cast is good enough to take them to top 16. And as well as you can never underestimate Argentina's willpower.
Yeah.
So therefore,
true.
I'm taking them to top 16.
Yeah, I actually looked a lot into these next few teams, so be prepared. They obviously fell off a lot. They had a really, really strong roster last year. Very explosive. Came into the scene. I think that was their first year. I'm not sure, but that was definitely the first year where they did really well. Off the backs of Mark, Dijavici, Abura. I think Abura got banned after that, though. So, yep, that is unfortunate. Yeah, but I think they've only been improving. Unknown and now Axel is an insanely good player. Bro has platinums on every single ETX stat. Velvet is also no stranger to being really fucking cracked. And obviously, Jusky is also coming back, and he's a really, really good tapping player. So I think especially on tapping, these guys are gonna excel really well, and I think they have some really strong picks to their name that they can abuse their opponents on. That they also have some major major shortcomings that they can be abused on as well. So it's kind of a mix. I think they can make it quite far. Whether that's top 8 or top 16, we will see. But I think top 16 is something that is very realistic for them to achieve this year.
Yeah, I'm placing them in top 16. I certainly think, just kind of like what Lunexia hinted at, I think off the backs of Jasky and Followit, they certainly can go higher. I don't think it is out of the realm of possibility, but top 16 I think is where they're firmly gonna end up.
Yeah, okay, it's a pretty unanimous top 16 here. Let's move on to our next country, and this is your ex-winners from 6WC 2024. Of course, in similar fashion to Singapore, Brazil took a pretty big hit in their roster, but that goes for any other country. Although I do think Brazil's hit was less significant. You do see some scary players in, Joe Tampa, in Dot Siepa, and Breria. I do believe Joe Tampa was the winner of the Trial by Fire South America lobby. So that's it. I do think this Brazil roster has some firepower left. Just how much? I honestly think top 24 is the lowest they can go. Philopson, what about you?
Okay, what can we say about Brazil? Brazil is my favorite country.
Yo,
I love it so much.
Yo.
And despite everything that happened previously, I'm really looking forward to seeing the performance of those new players, because they are actually new. I think the only exception is Braya. Braya as a captain, I think he was like the last the last Brazilian 6-digit of the previous era with all of those crazy D-rankers. So I think he got a lot of experience from them. I definitely saw the guy playing in map as a captain. Making some good picks, playing really well as well, with the support from Tsipia and Joe Tampo, who played a lot in our festival events and got relatively high placements, I believe. This is at least top 24, as Gamili mentioned, but I would personally gamble and put them at top 16 for now. But I think if later on some stronger countries come up, I will have to put them in top 24. But so far, looking forward to seeing their performance, and good luck.
I am on the I think I would put them in top 16. I think the players have enough experience to get to that point, whether it be Hypervisc, who is apparently top 5 global on Ausu Droid.
What the
Pretty,
fuck?
pretty
Minus Tito,
cool.
minus Tito method.
But yeah,
We
you
got
have your
minus
other
Tito too.
players, whether it be Lipsa, when it be Dotsepia, whether it be Baya, whether it be Jotampa, thank you. I think they have enough players with experience that have gone pretty decently far in tournaments to be able to go into the round top 16. It's a bit tough for me to say though, because when I look at the top 16, I do look at teams that I definitely think are better, but I just gotta have that just have that belief in South American teams to do well.
Yeah, I do think that Brazil is in a very similar situation to the United Kingdom, where they lost basically all of their crazy talent that they had last year. They were, however, I think in a better position because they do still have some players left, and I think they could recuperate a little bit better than the United Kingdom could, in the sense that Braya is a very strong player, and they also have Dotsepia, they have Jotampa, who are also very good players, and they also have Hypervisc, which Fronen already mentioned is a very strong player on also Droid. And Leip Xpia, I don't know, man, is also a very strong player, actually. They do, however, have some players with a lot less experience, which are going to drag them down eventually. So I think it's going to be a top 16-ish finish. They might go to top 8, like some of those other teams, like the United Kingdom as well. But personally, I see them in top 16, and that's where I'm going to put them. And I think I'm pretty happy with that, personally.
So I see this year's Brazil team is kind of similar to last year's United States team, where you look at last year's Brazil team and you say, man, I know everybody on that roster, but then you compare that to this year and it's like it just doesn't compare. Like last year's Brazil team is insane compared to this year's Brazil team. It's kind of similar to how United States 2023, you look at those names and you look at the names of United States 2024 and it's kind of hard to compare. But I mean, a little bit of self-glaze real quick. I think we're pretty good last year. I think we do compare, but that's the topic for another time. But anyway, I don't see Brazil performing up to the standard that last year's Brazil team did, so I'm gonna firmly place them in top 16.
Okay, I think it's pretty unanimous, top 16 from everyone. Not quite the level of dominance that we saw last year, but it is what it is. Let's move on to another interesting country. It's gonna be Team Canada, seed 4, fourth place from the last 6-digit World Cup. Seeing the return of Harold, this time as their captain, with a completely new roster, losing players like Aikmi, who was Canadian and was gonna play for this roster. But we do see the inclusion of some very interesting players in Femboy, Nixie, core 6 winner, if I'm not wrong. Kaya Dori, up and coming player, alongside Toro. Toro, I believe as well, a new player. Falba being one of the stronger players alongside Groggles, if I'm not mistaken, from one of the minor league teams from Canada last year. So I think Canada is a pretty interesting roster to look at. In fact, I do think they'll end up performing pretty high. Just how high? I think they're in the same ballpark as Brazil, frankly. The only question is, will Harold tip the scale like more in favor of Canada? And I just can't say for sure right now, so I'm gonna put that in top 16.
Right. I would say not even Harold, but also a Kaidori type of performance that will be very important for Canada. Both Epic Theater participants, Harold winning the first Trial by Fire event, so proven to everyone that on high SR he is the most skillful player so far. Kaidori, on the other hand, played a lot of festival events, beat a lot of tournament players, a lot of strong D rankers. So those two are definitely in, I would say, like top 5% of the players of 6WC. And carry potential, I think they are stronger than Brazil. So considering how many teams we have left and how many of them are like super strong, I think Canada would go to top 8 in my book.
Yeah, I think it's just looking at the cast and looking at the players individually. You just see a lot of talent from a lot of the players, whether it be Harold, the obvious carry here, but you can't, take people like Toro, for example, who is an up-and-coming player and he's been playing very, very well. I would say definitely one to look out for. He's been improving at very good rate. Whether it be Nixio, whether it be Falba, whether it be Kaidori, I definitely think this team has a lot of potential to go far. So for me, I can see them come top 8. I definitely can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can make a nice connection to the Kazakhstan team here. They both have a very prolific carry. Kazakhstan has Aaron, and this team has Harold. But unlike Kazakhstan, this team has so many more players that can support Harold much better than the other Kazakhstan players could support Aaron. And you have Falba, you have Nixie, and you have Kaidori, who are also all really good. And just because of that, I would place them above teams like Kazakhstan. And I would place them top 8 here.
Interesting. So when I see this year's Canada roster, I'm looking at Kaidori, I'm looking at Harold, I'm looking at Groggles and Isaac, because in their tryout stats, Kaidori is actually number 1 in the high SR. So they definitely have multiple very, very strong high SR players. And then you look at Femboy Nixiowo, he is very strong on low AR. And then you have some other players to fill for the other slots. So I personally think Canada, I'm more bullish than you guys. Canada's going top 4.
Oh, shit. Big praise coming in from the USA
I don't hate
panelists.
it. I don't hate it.
Okay, I think right now we're gonna put it top 8. We can always rearrange stuff later on, but for now, I think that's gonna be a top 8 for Team Canada. Now let's move on to our next country. We're coming to the very end, thank God. and the next one's gonna be Chile. This was one of the countries that really took a big hit from their 2024 roster. In their 2024 roster, lost Isita, lost Rap, but this time, they have a pretty solid lineup. I think they have like Solhe, Amber, and Tegato. But honestly, is that enough to call? I think this is like another Thailand incident. What about you, Philipson?
I think they can get to top 32 because Tigato, Solhead, those two were like very often participants of festival events. And they didn't get eliminated in the first rounds. They definitely put up some great fights with some stronger D rankers. But yeah, it's definitely not enough for top 24. But if I put them in top 32, I will have to think a lot. And unfortunately, I have to be fair, and I will try to solve that mystery for myself. So top 32 for me, and Fernand, let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'm not on that same wavelength, I'll be honest. I do not see them having the required players and skill to be able to qualify here. I just don't. I mean, this is another year of Chile, another year of them having insane players in not the standard mode. They have another catch player this year, and I don't know. I just don't see it. So for me, it's DQ.
Yeah, they do have Amber, they do have T1 Gato, but that's where things kind of fall apart. I think everyone else has very little to no tournament experience. You rarely see Chilean players around these days, which is unfortunate, but I can see them potentially making top 32. But I think I rather lean to them being DNQ'd here.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, Lunexia. They certainly are, I think, in that Thailand region of teams, but I don't think they qualify.
Yeah, all right. A DNQ for the most for most of us, and we are gonna move on to Colombia. Now, this Colombian roster, unfortunately, I'm not seeing my good Regner, but what they do have is their returning players in John Cho and Nepset. Although I think this is the same camp as Chile, I think this is an easy DNQ. I don't really think that returning players are going to be enough to push them over the edge. And I think most of what we said for Chile can be applied here, especially losing Shurex and whatnot. Anybody else have any objections to that?
Nah, this time I'm on the same board. Well, as you, I will not put them in the top 32 like I did with Chile. So DNQ, my choice. All right.
I think that's pretty unanimous from the entire panel. Now we're kind of just blitzing through right now because we're gonna get to our last three countries, and it's gonna be Mexico. One of our, I think this roster, a complete roster shift, but wait, I feel like there's some hidden gems in this roster. But they don't shine bright enough for me. I know Heidi SA is pretty solid, Zo Akage as well, but other than that, I really can't recognize anybody.
Now I have to disagree because I do recognize some,
Okay.
and I'm your festival organizer. I know like most of the players who played in those events. Heidi Essay was a podium placer of one of the events. Then you of course have Zoe Akage, who played in Backstab Bootcamp event, and he was doing really well against a team that had Maiji and Edix Mandrike. They went to tiebreaker, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough because, well, match score was 4-3, and yeah, Zorkage had to say goodbye to the event, but still, the impression that I got of him when commentating his match was really high. And I think those two on themselves already make Team Mexico look really strong, at least compared to all the DNQ countries. I would put them either to top 32 or in actually top 24. The question is, I don't know where. Chat, help me.
Yeah.
Chat.
Chat, do our job, please.
Chat, do our job. It's been 3 hours and all of us want to die. And
Yeah. All right. All right, Mexico. I'm gonna say, very close between top 32 and top 24 for me. I I do worry about them having sort of enough good players in order to sort of keep going after round of 32, after qualifying. So for me, it's going to be round of 32, and I'm going to need to do a lot of adjustment.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know any of these players, but I got a package of definitely not drug-related money to my doorstep this morning. And I will put them in top 24. So don't ask me why though. Don't ask me why. It's a hunch.
Okay.
It's a hunch.
It's a hunch. Let him cook.
All right, here we go. So I do agree that Mexico is probably going to end up in top 24. Although, I mean, you look at Respite, Jishin, Haide SA, they're going to probably be your 3 carries throughout the entire tournament. But I will say, if you let Mexico get a little far in the tournament, I do think SZQS Suzy, he can cook on high SR. I've seen him cook in a private tournament. He can really do well on high SR. So I think if you wanna beat Mexico, you better knock him out quick.
Okay. I would say I'm not too well versed in Mexico as a country, so I'm willing to take your word for it. I think top 24 is a fair place to put them, also so that we don't have to fucking shuffle our predictions around.
Yeah, man,
So
I put it there as well.
let's just put it in top 24. You know, we can do some funky stuff at the very end. Now let's move on to perhaps the most controversial country to come out of 6WC 2024. It's gonna be Peru.
God.
Complete roster shift. Thank God. It's a complete roster shift, but you know,
You never know. You never know.
some players, one of which I just can't say the name of on stream.
Don't check the 5th player, please.
I have
Don't
no
check
idea
the
what to say. If anybody wants to give some insight to this roster, be my guest. I'm not familiar.
Yeah. So most of these people actually don't have any tournament experiences at all. Funnily enough, Bob Sino has 50 hours in Osu, so bro is basically a super fresh account. He is ranked 400k. I don't know.
That's not good. That's not good, bro. That's not good.
Hey.
It wasn't Star Screen, but you know who was Star Screen? Their best player, the only player I knew, Lily, was Star Screen. So there goes the only thing I was gonna talk about. Great. They were able to fill the spot though. Obviously, these players are all unknown. Leopato is the only one I actually know because he pulled up to a 1v1 tournament, whooped my ass, and moved on. That was actually his first tournament match, he said, which is very cool that he just managed to beat me in his first tournament match, which is, achievement, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm holding myself too high, but
Yeah,
there
no,
isn't really much to say about these guys. Megumi is pretty much the only player who has some tournament experience and is actually quite decent, but all of the other ones are very new players. And I actually don't see them qualifying because of that.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
no, it's Peru. It's Peru. It's Peru. They could.
Peru.
They
Honestly,
No, no,
I'm gonna put them in
Win the
DNQ
tournament.
right now. I'm gonna put them DNQ right now. But like,
they could win.
clip
They could
me,
win.
clip me.
So that we disqualify them later.
You know,
That's-
if
that's the
Bob
strategy.
Sim is first place in match cost, I wouldn't be surprised.
DNQ stands for disqualify Epic Games. But any objections to DNQ from the Throne. All right. Go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
had him in top 24 just because I don't exactly know much about these new players. I mean, but it's Peru, so you don't really know what's gonna happen until they show up. I mean,
Well,
everybody was like, "What is happening with Peru last year?" And then, they got nuked.
even
So-
then, right? Peru last year was not an enigma. Like, we knew quite a bunch of players. Like, definitely Auto Darakuto, then all of them, in fact, were pretty well known. This time, it's like completely in the dark. We do not know what's happening, and for that reason, I think DNQ is fair. We put a lot of countries where we don't know anybody into DNQ, and it's not like Peru had a lot of signups this year, anyways. So it's a DNQ for me. I think that's a pretty safe bet. But if it changes, you know who to clip. All right. At long last, at the end of this fucking 3 hours and 7 minutes, we finally reached the one, the only country that I've been saving my top 4 slot in.
Yeah,
Mr.
put him
Throne,
top
we're gonna hold you back. We're gonna hold you back for now, as we have. It is going to be the United States. 6WC 2023 winner, 6WC 2024 third place. One of the most the most consistent country across all World Cups, no matter what game mode, no matter what rank range. The USA is here, and they are here to murder. This year, they have their minor league captain, their tried and true minor league captain, finally promoting and graduating to the major league. Yes, that's right. It's Light/Sparkle coming to the major league with the expertise that he has gathered, alongside a roster that is equally as stacked. I mean, I'm just gonna go through them very, very quickly. You have players like Redacted coming in from the minor league rosters of the states. You have newer tournament players like Creep Crafting, Callan Jack, who just came in, and you also have returning players. One of such player is Cuckoo, but you have a bigger name, which I honestly think if you aren't an old player, or you are a new blood, you probably wouldn't have heard of him. But minus Delete/Lixin, probably one of the strongest players in 6WC, full stop. One of the strongest players pre-6WC 2024, was not on the roster, would have been on the roster last year if I had to guess. And Delete is a absolute menace. Core 6-2 winner, Core 6-2 main carry. And I quaked my boots seeing Delete as a player who has feared him as a 6-digit back in my era of 6WC. Philoxen, take the mic, man.
Yep. All right. I only have one slot open in my tier list, and this is top 4, and this is where I'm putting them right now. Because as Gamila mentioned, just looking at the players, so many returning players, so many new players, new promising, new prodigious players like Callan Jack. I'm really excited to see him play in the actual matches, because from what we saw in the Epic Theater and in the festival events, he is definitely one of my favorite individual players in the entire tournament. So yeah, kind of biased here, but yeah, I do have one question. Delete.
Oh.
Why are you here?
Why?
Where have you been for those 2 years? Why would you come back to the scene where we actually get like the weakest 6 digits to play? Because you are like too strong for this tournament. Like, I'm pretty sure you can beat out like half of the fucking Filipino roster. Like, didn't they tell you that like you're too good, my man?
Oh my god. Also,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think-
Frunan, just take it, bro.
Right.
Do your glazing. Do your mandatory glaze.
I was gonna put them top 8.
Oh shit! We have a hater. We have a hater, chat. We have a
It's
hater.
not even like a hating thing. It's like I see 4 players better than them, 4 teams better than the USA. That's all it goes down to. I definitely think the other in the teams that are in top 8 are definitely the best, but I think it's very close. I don't think they're better than the Philippines. I don't think they're better than Poland. I don't think they're better than Russia. And I don't think they're better than Indonesia. So they are a very, very, very good team, but it's like, how can I place this? It's so hard. I will say definitely one of the teams that I can definitely see like outperforming my expectations. But for now, I'm gonna put them top 8, not because of them. They are undoubtedly very, very good. Just because of the competition, I believe is very, very strong.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so I think USA is gonna come down to which side of the bracket they're on, because I want you guys to know both Light and Kiwi have a 0% win rate against me, and if we do meet, I'm going to whoop their asses. So be prepared, USA. If you're on my side of the bracket, it's on. If they're on the other side, I think they're probably gonna make top 4 minimum.
Oh, they beefing like it. Oh my god, stream.
All right, Mr. Throne. I mean, the mic is yours. I'm sure this roster is like specially handpicked. I know the US tryout process is long and tedious, but go for it, bro.
Frunan, what the hell, man?
Hey, you put my team in GMQ, alright?
Okay, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That's fair enough. But anyway, I mean, this roster is insane. If you asked me a month ago, I would have actually agreed with you, Frunan. I was thinking top 8, top 16, but like in the past couple weeks, like 2 weeks, holy shit! I've been playing on a lot of multis with Callan Jack and like Delete. They are better than what their ISR tryout scores say they are. I mean, they're matching me on some maps. And with that being said, you look at Creep Crafting, a new player, got second overall in high SR. Absolutely insane player. Just very well rounded, actually. Top 3 Kalenjak, Delete, Kalenjak, Delete, and Creep Crafting. All 3 very well rounded players. And then you go down the list to, I don't know, Kiwi. Kiwi is very strong on Hard Rock and DT. Like, Kiwi's beaten me in match on DT maps. And then, you got Light, our goated minor league captain, now upgraded to 18.
Finally.
Please carry us. And like I said at the start of the stream, I think the United States is gonna barely lose on bracket reset tiebreaker in grand finals. And then, I mean, you look at Cuckoo. Cuckoo was literally put on this team because it was another quote unquote Mr. Throne situation from last year where Cuckoo's just there to fill in slots that the rest of the team can't play. And I'll let you guys know, I've played on teams with Cuckoo. Cuckoo is an insane player as well. All of these players are very, very strong in their own right. And you look at Redacted, just an absolute demon on high SR and tech.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this team is going to make top 4. I think, in my opinion, Philippines and the US stand alone above the rest of the teams in the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Team Philippines as a team, right, there's only one word to describe them, and that is fear. From the beginning, I've always had this idea that, even last year, I was like, there's no way USA is strong this year. Like, there is no way they do well this year. There is no way. They seed 5. I mean, there is no way they're gonna, like, give any country in top 3 a run for their money. And, oh my goodness, USA proved me wrong. Time and time again, we doubt USA. They're like, no way they do this well. No way they do this well. And then time and time again, they prove us wrong. They prove that they're the kings at the top of the hill. And I think that this roster, frankly speaking, at the SR of Grand Finals, is the closest country that can match up to Philippines. Like, Poland is strong. I think Poland is strong, but Poland has a weakness in high SR. Russia is strong, but Russia has a weakness in history. Not any implications. Indonesia is strong, but they mental boom every other pick. I think the USA and Indonesia are probably the closest that can come to toppling the Philippines, and God, I freaking hope they do. So I think top 4 is a good place to put them. I think top 4 is a good place to put them.
I would just like to mentioning mental boom. I think we can definitely look at a lot of the teams we put in top 8, and if we get that into consideration, we need to do a lot of adjusting.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Germany
Right.
DMQ. Anyways.
Oh,
let's,
okay.
No.
Okay. So I think we've finally at long last come to the end of our predictions thing, but let's just take some time to reshuffle things around, just looking at top 32. Let's go row by row. I know I kind of hate doing this. I already want to die doing this, but frankly speaking, is there any changes that scream out to you right now?
Wait, who whispered no? Who whispered
I did
no?
Mirage.
Wait,
Wait,
Mirage.
the only change that I want to make is I want to move. I actually want to move India down in favor of Argentina. That's like my one change that I have. Alongside maybe Australia and Denmark. That's like the two spots.
I will say we are missing one team in top 16.
Yes.
So
Oh, we are.
Wait, that's
We have to
true.
move one up,
Who-
actually. So.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Who?
What do you mean we do?
Would you say Switzerland is worse of being top 16 just
in
because
the
of
combined
how?
list,
yeah,
in
we
the
do.
combined list, we're missing one in the top 16.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
do.
I see, yeah.
Right.
So
we
could
need
it be
to-
Switzerland, or do you guys have any better idea?
No, I honestly think
Probably
Norway.
China. China,
What,
India.
China?
But
China
China
is
is
16.
top 16 already.
Yeah.
Oh,
have to look at the
it's
combined
Taiwan.
list.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Taiwan is what I was picking. Yeah.
Yeah, I was confused.
Taiwan.
Okay, my bad.
Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwan,
Really? Okay,
India,
Taiwan.
Switzerland, probably one of those three.
I'm happy with Taiwan moving up,
Maybe
but that
Norway.
also means we need someone to go up, which I think that one is going to be Argentina or Denmark.
Yeah.
I think either one.
Wait, wow,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, Argentina,
Eh?
I would say.
Wait,
Argentina.
sorry, Funan?
Why do we need to move one down?
Because like we
we're
move
good.
Taiwan up. If we move Taiwan up, we also need to move someone from top 32.
We can
up.
move someone from top 32 up, then
Yeah.
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay
Oh.
then.
All right. So
Uh,
from top 32, who's the best team there? I mean, I already,
I like Spain.
I already put Pakistan, I believe, in top 24. for me.
Yeah, you have a point. Pakistan does have 2-3 good players. I could see it.
Yeah, but like the same thing with Spain, I would say. They have Kerala, they have they have cannabis power. So all right.
no, I guess based on what we know, Pakistan makes a bit more sense. I feel.
I would say,
Mm.
I would say in terms of the skills of the players that are experienced, I would prefer to pick Pakistan.
One last change that I want to mention. I kind of feel like switching Australia and I'm a big advocate for either Argentina or Denmark moving up, and I think Australia needs to go down. What are your thoughts on that?
Because of the carry potential, I think they are stronger than most of the countries. But if you still want to move them down, I would put Spain in top 24 then instead of Australia.
Okay, because the thing is, I don't think the carries from like Claw or like sorry, your boy Grubs is that prominent. I definitely think like a carry from Denmark, like
I
Europe.
agree.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're moving
So-
Spain up and Australia down.
We moving that?
Yeah,
Is that
looks
yeah?
fine.
All right, let's just do that. Yep. Okay. And last one,
Someone.
we need to move someone up. Who are we gonna move up, guys? Who are we gonna move up?
Latvia for the
Thailand?
respect so that I don't receive death threats.
Latvia.
What about
I mean-
Thailand?
Thailand? Oh, honestly,
Thailand.
if you're a believer, Throne, I mean,
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
Hmm.
I want to see Thailand. I want to see Thailand core. High key.
I mean, I want to say Peru.
Oh no.
No, wait, high key. You got a
He's also
point.
right.
Wait, you
I
got a
think he has a
point.
point.
I think that's the right answer. I think Peru is the right answer.
Yeah,
Just given off like trauma.
think somehow, some way, they will. Well, regardless of where they're gonna end, if they're gonna end naturally, I think top 32 is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Naturally. All right. Yeah,
So-
sounds good then.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the prediction stream. It has been a grueling long 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I think we have time to say our pieces. Starting with Philoxen. Any last words for the booth? And we will go and see.
Yeah, guys. I'm really happy to be here once again.
No, you're not.
Make sure that Team Philippines, please make sure that the 2023 predictions incident doesn't happen again, where we put you at top 1 and we lost in group stage. This is your time to prove us wrong. Hopefully, you will succeed in that. But yeah, if you want to see more goofy ass content about CDC, you can check donation goals. Trust me, it's worth it. But yeah, from me, this is gonna be it, and thank you for having me.
Well, yeah, this was a long stream, and I'm happy we did it. I think it was definitely a lot of fun. I think it was definitely a lot of info into what we're coming into, seeing in the tournament, and yeah, I'm very excited for this tournament to start already. When is the seeding reveal, by the way?
Oh, I'll talk about seeding review in a bit.
Right.
Once
Right.
they're done. The next year, I'll take it.
Yeah, I really hope France is on our side of the bracket.
Whoa.
Yeah. Also, what does CDC actually stand for? Throne, take it away.
Don't sleep on the United States this year. I'm looking at you, Gamilli.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for
Oh, no.
sleeping last year.
Everybody
sorry
does
for
every
sleep-
year.
I was a hater for the US last year. Never again. Never again. Oh my days. But yeah.
Yeah,
Mirage,
seriously though-
yeah, go for it now, Throne.
Seriously though, thank you for having me, Gamilli. United States is gonna win. Good luck.
please, bro. Please. I've never wanted US to win so bad. All right, Mirage, any last words from you?
No, I think this predictions team went pretty well. I'm also happy to be part of it, and yeah, looking pretty good.
All right. So, all right, 5 minute speech coming up. Huge shout outs first of all to all of the commentators in the booth. Of course, Philoxen and Frunan once again returning. Frunan for the 3rd year in a row now. Philoxen did predictions alongside me and Frunan last year. So huge shout outs to them for coming back into the roster and into the panel, and of course being the lovely co-cast as always. And huge shout outs to Lunexia and Throne. I can definitely say that these two people, it was very difficult to find our last 2 casters, so I'm very grateful for Lunexia being our lovely player rep to come in and give his insight into the 6-digit scene, being a 10-year-old player as he is. And of course, Mr. Throne, the player that I underestimated since last year. It's great to have you on the panelist, and honestly, it went a lot better. Given how I haven't spoken to Lunexia or Throne a lot, it's been a blast, discussing all of these funny predictions with you guys, and I'm very grateful to have you guys on the team.
Yeah.
But that's it. Good luck to all of the countries with your quals. I believe we have had about half of the quals lobbies being finished right now. Some devious stuff happening from Zeria. Don't talk about that. And we have a stacked stream lineup of streams planned for you. Tomorrow we will be having our round of 32 pool showcase. Yes, it's a bit early, but that's just so that our seed review that's just so that our seed review stream isn't gonna be 60 hours long. It's gonna be at 15:15 UTC as always, with our interview with Stage coming in right after that. That's gonna be a pretty interesting one. The TCOM member, ex-5WC host. So if you are interested in that, you can stick around for it. But yeah, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've said that all that needs to be said. Huge shout outs to Perry Crayola for the insane overlay and for putting it up in like a week, as well as Mirage Fire for trudging through the trenches with the 5 of us in this 3-hour long stream. But it has been a long journey, and it's all probably gonna be wrong, but we hope you guys at the end of the day enjoyed it, hopefully more than we did doing it. But until then, of course, my name has been Gary Curla. I have been your host. Joining me in this VC was Philoxen, Frunan, Lunexia, Mirage, and Mr. Throne. This has been the 6-digit World Cup. What does CDC really mean? I don't know, but this is Project Hexagon signing out.
Yeah. Waiting for speech bubbles.